Hey, what's going on, YouTube, my family and my friends? Excellent Dreams here, back with another exclusive video for you today. Got to put on my aviators. All right, I'm just waiting for my students to come on in here. They will be here shortly after they receive the link. Go ahead and send over the link. They'll start popping in here as they come. All right, in our newbie class today, we have Tonya Pruitt and Andrea Roberts. Just waiting for these ladies to come on aboard. Come aboard. All right. While we wait, let's go ahead and jump into some screen sharing here. All right. Show you what I was working on previously. So I do have like this zodiac signs bundle. I have that available on my Etsy. You know, it has this gorgeous rhinestone template here. All right, this was from my last class. I was pretty much showing the difference in size spacing, stone spacing. There's a lot of rhinestones in this design here, in these two rectangles we have here. And this one at the bottom is using 0.02 spacing, while the one up top is using, let's see here, 0.08. So this is what the spacing looks like at 0.02 at the bottom, and then 0.08 up top. And that's located here in the place and fill section, where you change the spacing here. The bottom is spacing using space 0.02, and the top is using space 0.08. Both of these designs are using the hatch fill. But that's a lot of rhinestones right there. Let's go ahead and just delete those. I'm just using those as an example. That's a lot of rhinestones to delete right there. All right, let's go ahead and save our work. Hey, Andrea.
Mr. Jones.
What's going on? What's going on?
Trying to make this shirt, Faith Over Fear. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great. It's going great. Just got off my first training for today. Now here we are on my newbie training today. We have you and another person who's just using CorelDraw and TRW for the first time, and she's excited to learn. We're just waiting for her to come about here. How's it so far?
It's actually going pretty good. I've been testing your product, so I got my rocket flock and been going through the templates. I went all the way back to 2022 on some things I bought from you, and everything works. It's flawless. I've been downloading the subs and the files and the groups and the ungroups. I've been playing with your files all morning, so I appreciate you having great quality, and I'm gonna keep rocking with you, and we're gonna see what you got today for us in store.
Hey, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. I try to make it as easy as possible, because when I first got started, it was not easy. There was no rhinestone templates available to just find and drag into my software and be able to cut them out immediately. So I definitely pride myself on being a spearheader. I guess that's the word. You know, as you're gonna see, I come up with words as I go, like, you know what I mean? As being I can't say a leader, because there was other people that led me down this path, like, you know what I mean? So I can use the word spearheader and say that I took what I saw presented to me and then recreated it to present it to other people. You know what I mean? I saw people, uh, there's plenty of people online using this niche to create income, and it doesn't center around rhinestones. You know what I mean? There's this guy who draws he might get on there every day. It's called Draw with Jazza, Jazza. And I came across him on YouTube, and he draws. You know, he draws, he paints. When I say he draw, sometimes he draw with anything, like draw with salt. You ever seen people draw with salt?
Yes, I've drawn with salt and painted with salt.
Yes. So just seeing his channel inspired me to create my own channel, to where I show off my rhinestone art, and then it went from me wanting to just show it off to me wanting to help and teach others. Like, you know what I mean? So in doing so, I realized that sharing the files is critical, and that it actually helps people to get a leg up on getting started. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I like how when you format your files, not only do you put the stone count, then you also put the sizing. The sizing is key, because if the sizing is off, it's not going to work no matter
Yeah.
which.
Right.
And it's like each software that you uploaded in may drag it in larger or smaller.
Right.
So formatting is key. And so you give us all of the scientific mathematic goals in order to have the correct thing. All you have to do is be able to read it. And if there's a problem, what I appreciate about you is that you are available. You know what I mean? Like, you
Yes.
basically just out away, and you've always been so kind-hearted to, if people come at you correctly, let me add that you would this.
They just said something that the ladies just said something in my previous training, like, yeah, I'm very helpful, I'm very knowledgeable. I do agree in sharing, but I can be, what do they call me, snappy? Like, you know what I mean? They say when I'm on one, I'm on one, and I'm like, yeah, because I gotta protect my baby here at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't let my baby run out in the street and get ran over. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's right.
what's going on, Tonya? Oh, she's still connecting to her audio. Hey, Tonya.
Two of my new favorite people. Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
what's
Hey,
going on? I know you thought I was playing, Ray, but I was serious when I first reached out to you to say that I wanted to take your class. I just had to find time. Saturdays are just busy for me. And I tell you, when you said you were having a newbies class at 4 o'clock, I'm like, okay, Mom, come on, we got to go. We got to get your errands run because I got to get back home.
Hey, listen, no pun intended when I say this, but I be thinking everybody playing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so and some folk do be. I mean, you let's call a spade, right?
Yeah.
When you go through the group and you kind of look at things and figure out what's going on. Yeah, some people out there, like I said, they ain't really on the up and up or whatever. But you do have a good following. You always gonna have those people that are gonna come in there and try to tear down what you're building, because that's what the enemy does.
Yes.
Right. So we always got to be mindful of that. And we got to push, and we just got to keep pushing forward, because whatever God had for you, Ray, is for you. And he has blessed you with a tremendous talent. I mean, I saw your stuff on Etsy before I even knew you had a Facebook page. Okay. Right. And then I was out on YouTube and just happening to be looking up tutorials for TRW's Rhinestone Wizard software, and your videos popped up. And then I was able to link the two together.
Yes.
And then found the Facebook page and you know, and such. And so it's coming. Just, you know, just be patient. Just be patient.
Patience is the key. And I told myself that I tell myself that every day, that I truly believe that yes, I'm I can't say destined for greatness, because I can say I'm destined for what it is that I'm doing, and being able to even recognize that that I love it. I love it to the point to where I would be at a whole job right now if I didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't understand my goal and my purpose, I would be at a whole job right now. But the Most High reached out to me and told me to help other people. And sometimes when you hear things from that higher power, you like, you want to question, you want to be like, why? And I did all of those things. I did. And he was like, just trust me, you know? And all I had was faith.
Right.
That I was doing the right thing. Because my left brain said, why would you want to teach other people? Because then they're going to take from your business. That's what my left brain said. My right brain said, listen to what the Most High said, like, you know what I mean, and do it, like, you know what I mean?
Yes, that's right. That's right. And there's so many people, and I know we don't want to belabor and mess up our 2 hours, but, you know, I just feel, you know, there's so many people out there with that mindset, right? Especially those of us that look like us, right? Yeah. That feel like, you know, as soon as you tell somebody something, like all of a sudden, you know, your money gonna stop flowing. But when you learn that that's not how this works, right?
Yeah.
When you understand, like you said earlier, when the Most High has put you on a path for whatever that path is, and it's whatever is for you,
yeah,
it's gonna come to you regardless of how many. I don't care if 1 million people out there started doing Diamond Club, you know, everybody start looking and doing stuff just like yours. It don't matter, because what's gonna matter is whether or not God's gonna bless them with that design. And if he didn't give that design to them, he gave it to you. And so it's gonna come back to you regardless. And that's how I believe. You know, I do the same thing. You know, I give away so much stuff, it's not even funny. You know, not just product, but time, you know, because at the end of the day, for me, it really isn't about making money. I have a decent job. You know, I have a job that pays me well, but I have a passion for, like I said, this craft. And I'm seeing that there are others who are struggling just like I did in the beginning. And I'm like, if you just give it time, if you just seek out help, if you pour into yourself and you learn, you can do this just like anybody else.
Yes.
And whatever it is you want to do with it, if you want to make passive income, if you want to just design stuff for your own self to wear, or whatever you want to do with it, do it, right? Because whatever I'm going to do, right, is for me. And if it was meant for me to make that sale, there ain't nothing that you nor Andrea or anybody else is going to do to keep that sale from landing in my Etsy or my page.
Most definitely. I just want to say, don't be a stickler for time. The way I do it, you know, we can get on here and ramble for 2 hours, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then I'll stop the clock at 2 hours, like, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll do our 2-hour class, like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like, so
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Greats in the building. Hey, let's cook. Let's go.
Let's cook. Yes.
So
and I've been watching you too. Is it Andrea? How do you pronounce your name?
It's Andrea.
Well, I've been following you too. And I tell you, like I said, you've got a knack for some stuff there as well. Like I said, you know, you guys are young compared to me. You know, I'm 55 years. I'll be 55 years old on my birthday. You know, so but just to see the talent and the dedication that you put into your craft. And you know, I've been watching you doing those mugs and the tumbler. I mean, you're just all over the place, Miss Ma'am. And I'm just so thankful and just so appreciative that the Lord has led me to some people that can help me broaden my horizons and, extend my knowledge so that I can create more, and not have $819 and so many odd cents. They know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
yes, yes.
On that TRW CorelDraw software package that's just sitting on my laptop doing nothing.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm ready.
Mine was actually 1258.
So you didn't buy it when it was on Black Friday?
I bought it 10 years ago, long before there was ever a sale on it. So I had to pay for them separately. It wasn't even a bundle. I had to get CorelDraw for $5.99, and then I had to get TRW for $5.99. Like, you know what I mean? So when people can, when I hear people with their gripes about the price, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? $769 is a lot. Like, you know what I mean? But I try to tell people all the time, I paid $1,200 for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I paid $1,200 for it because I wanted it that bad. Like, you know what I mean? I saved up and you know what I mean, and bought it like it was a car. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
My very first time seeing a rhinestone shirt and not even knowing, I'm talking about my very first time seeing a rhinestone shirt was like probably 4 or maybe 3.5 to 4 years before I got started. And I didn't even know that it was a thing. I didn't even know that I could make this stuff. I just liked what I saw. Like, you know what I mean? So once I found out that, I could do rhinestones at home, and all I need is a vinyl cutter and a heat press and this and that. I went down the rabbit hole of doing my research. I went down such a rabbit hole to where my ex-wife might tell you that it probably drove me nuts. Like, you know what I mean? Because I was like, I had to figure it out. I had to. And once I started figuring it out, my heart just wanted to make shirts. I wanted to make the livest rhinestone shirts ever. That was 10 years ago.
Right.
My heart now
10 years ago. And look,
my heart now says I still want to make the livest rhinestone shirt ever, but I also want to help people if they want to make rhinestone shirts too. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
When I first
because everybody's style is different.
Yeah.
Everybody's style is different.
Yes.
And that's the versatility that I love about rhinestones, right? Because, depending on how you use them, right? They look totally different on each medium, right?
Yeah.
So you doing your stuff with the sublimation and the rhinestones or whatever. And when I first saw that, I'll be honest with you, I was like, oh, I want to steal that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want to steal that concept, because it was like, wow, that's different,
Different.
And I could see, like with AI coming out and all the images that people were starting to create, and how you could take that AI generated graphic and then jazz it up with some rhinestones or whatever. And whether you want to be hip hop, you want to be religious, you just want to be, we just want to be fun with it. It's so many different things that you can do with it, and never really even scratch the surface.
Never scratch
of
the
what
surface.
you can create.
Yes. That term right there, scratch the surface. So when I think of rhinestones, I think of rhinestones are an art form. Yes, vinyl is an art form as well. So is clay making, so is origami, like, you know what I mean? But rhinestones in itself, if you ask me, it's sort of similar to the Lego feel. Like, you know what I mean? You got one Lego, which is nothing by itself. Like, you know what I mean? One little Lego is nothing by itself. But once you add in 10,000 more Legos and actually create this image that people are going to get that using these, like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly, exactly. Great analogy. I mean, and like I said, you know, again, it's a craft that you can build on. You know, it's buildable as to what you want to do with it.
Right.
You know, like I said, it's not just for shirts, right? People are showing you all day long, you know, tumblers and hey, I'm even starting to bling out a pair of shoes. I mean, I threw in my first pair of, you know,
Yeah.
sneakers or whatever. I mean, you know, it's just it's like I say, it's mind-boggling. And you know, there's enough room, quote unquote, out here for everybody. You
Right.
know, nobody has to step on anybody's toes. Nobody has to, you know, try to, you know, um, steal people's ideas and designs and all of that stuff. You know, like I said, that's not necessarily a form of flattery per se, right?
Right.
It only becomes to me, a source of flattery when you do like I do. I come to you and I say, hey, I wanted to, but out of respect for who you are and the time and that it took you to create that, I come to you and I say, hey, I love that. Would
Yes.
you mind, you know, if I took it and, you know, tweaked it and made it my own, even though the concept was yours, right? Give credit where credit is due.
Give
And I
credit where credit
guarantee
is
you
due.
more people would be willing to let you use or borrow or whatever their stuff.
Right.
But don't just blatantly steal people's things and then try to claim it as your own. That's just not the way to do things.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So well, give me
And then
2 seconds. I got to go turn my heat press off and then I'm going to come back.
all right. Then we're gonna jump right in, jump right in. It's something going on like with the let me try to wipe this off. It looks like
A small haze.
no, I almost look like I got vampire eyes. I can't explain it. Hold on. Maybe it's I gotta wipe this little. Look at all that.
All right, I'm here.
That was the
Oh,
dust.
Look at
I
the
know that
dust.
was the dust that was on my
Your laptop
laptop
screen?
screen. So that's
Yeah.
why to me it looked like I had vampire eyes. My bad.
Yeah, mine's is probably like that too.
All right. So um have you opened up or played around with the software?
I did
Enter.
open it up, and I was able to figure out how to get how to get the TRW's panel onto the screen. I tried importing in, you know, a design, and that was about as far as I got. I think I was able to turn on the t-shirt mock-up thing, and then that was it, you know. And I have Matt's training series of videos. I think it's like 10 videos or whatever. I
Yeah.
bought those, but I just don't have 3 hours to watch all of that. And all of it is not geared towards just the rhinestone portion of the
It's not.
panel. So, you know, and I have a lot. I mean, I've spent a lot of money with TRW. So I know that I can use the software to, you know, with all his live templates and so forth and so on, because I make decals and all that kind of stuff. And I would love to be able to learn it so that I can be able to manipulate some of the stuff that I've already bought from him and use, you know, and do some other things. But, you know, rhinestoning at the moment is my focus.
Right.
And so, you know, if I could learn how to do this, because I'll tell you where I struggle, you know, I tell you, I use Silhouette Studio. Um, and I've been able to learn how to manipulate it and such. The hardest thing that I have is with fonts. And I
Right.
know that all fonts don't necessarily convert well into rhinestones because you got to size them up, you know, big. And I was thinking that TRW's plugin might alleviate some of that. Like you might be able to get fonts down smaller and still be able to add your rhinestones and they look decent. At least that was my thought. I don't know that that's true. So you'll
Right.
have to let me know.
Right. Okay. So when it comes to, I'm going to treat it as Rhinestone 101.
101.
101. We're going to dive in as if today is your first day in learning what a rhinestone is. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here we go. I was trying to share my screen. I forgot I had moved it down.
Okay.
So we're going to open up. See, I was working on all of these projects. So we're going to open up something brand new. All right. And what I'm going to do is I have all of these SVG images. All right. So you got a JPEG image, which is a picture. Then you have a PNG image, which is a picture, but it's also a portable. They call it a portable network graphic. And then you got a SVG, which is a scalable vector graphic. So you know the difference between a rasterized image and a vectorized image. Okay.
No.
Okay. No, that's great because people need to understand the difference. A vectorized image, it has lines, it has circles, it has shapes and objects.
Okay.
If you take this ice sparklers here, and you stretched it and you blew it up, it's still gonna say ice sparklers, ice breakers, right? And it's still gonna look exactly like this. The ice breakers and the sparkling is what's considered as vector graphic. All of the text in this is considered as vector graphic. Now the fruit and stuff, those are rasterized images because, as you can see, they have shading to them. They have, like, if I zoomed in closer, you will start seeing the little squares and the pixels of each color that makes up that image.
Right.
Well, for vector graphics, there's no blocks, there's shapes. And you can stretch those shapes out across the entire world, and you will not get any pixelization.
Okay.
It'll just be straight, smooth lines. It won't be any shading. It won't be any instances of picture. It'll just be lines and graphics and circles and squares that will make up visually what you see.
Okay.
That's the two differences. So with vector graphics, no matter how small you make them or how large you make them, they will still keep their look and proportion. They will not be distorted. They will not lose resolution. So when you're using vector graphics to create your art, then that's where the cutters come into play, because now you're using lines, shapes, and objects, and you're able to use a vinyl cutter to cut out those lines, shapes, and objects. Okay. And we use those lines, shapes, and objects to create visually the image that we see. Okay?
Okay.
I had to get that part out real quick. So now, when we jump into Google, let's go to Google real quick. When I first got started, I was looking for vector images. So I'm gonna just type in vector images, and I'm gonna hit images here. So typically, a vector image to me is a black, here it goes. It shows it right here. Shows it right here. Shows it right here perfectly. I just went over that part right there. The raster versus the vector. You see how the one on the left is kind of blurry, while the one on the right is clean?
Right, the pixelated version.
Correct. All right, so I don't need to show that part. So what you're looking for most of the time, even though these images up here are vector images as well, we're looking for these type of vector images.
Okay.
Pretty much black and white, solid lines and objects that you can easily manipulate and or add stones to.
Okay.
So a lot of people, when they first got started, we're just going to use this Mickey Mouse here as an example. I'm going to save this Mickey Mouse, save image as. So I already got the name Mickey Mouse. Boom. Let me minimize this. And I'm going to just drag that Mickey Mouse right onto my workspace like so.
Okay, okay, there we go.
Now, when you're in CorelDraw, it may look intimidating. All of these buttons, all of these icons, I don't know what does what, like, you know what I mean? Don't let it overwhelm you. Because in reality, once you understand, they are all the same. Like once you learn CorelDraw and you learned it to the point to where you like, oh, I know what that you're able to look at the icon and say, oh, that's the square tool, or that's the rectangle tool, that's the pointer tool. It's going to translate to any other software, even if the icons are different. You know what I mean? So take a deep breath. What you want to do when you first get started is you want to realize that every row is a different row for a reason.
Okay.
This main row up here, of course, the row we get in most software applications is just the main row that has the, you know, typically they're all the same: file, edit, view. It has the different options on which settings you can choose for the software. Those are pretty much all the same. The next line down here in most softwares is the same as well. It'll have your new page. It'll have your open. It might have an import or whatever. It's going to have your save. There's our print, our undo and redo. So this line right here is pretty much the general line that gives information or whatever. The next line right here is our editing line. We're going to call that the editing line because it has your TRW design wizard, and then it shows your wireframe, your enhanced view, and then it has a few tools such as the B-spline tool. That's okay. Those same tools here can be found along the side. And this side here is your tools. Each tool is different, and I've been using this software for 10 years. I've used 1 tool, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've used 10 out of those tools, and it looks like it's about 20 of them. You know what I mean? So don't worry about all the tools or whatever, like, I mean, along the side. As they come into play and you hover over it, drop shadow tool, and then you go inside of it. Oh, drop shadow, contour, blend, distort. Like, we don't know what they are, like, I mean, but they're there. So the way I did it was I took it one step at a time. One step at a time. What's this tool? And I went through the pick tool and I played with it. Okay, so I can do this. That moves it. You know what I mean? I just went through the tools. The shape tool, what's that? You know what I mean? And I started playing with stuff. But for beginners, the first thing you want to do is you want to find some images. The images are going to help you along when you first get started, before you learn how to create your own images. You know, because we have this Mickey Mouse here. We don't know how to draw a Mickey Mouse, but he's finally made it to the public domain. I guess the Steamboat
Willie.
Yeah, the Steamboat Willie version.
Right.
We're going to take And we're going to write his name out. M-I-C-K-E-Y. Mickey.
Mickey.
And we did that by using this the text tool. So click on the text tool and we type out our text. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the design wizard, TRW design wizard. I'm going to click on my text. And right here inside the design wizard, we have this drop over box here, which is our pretty much our rhinestone, not rhinestone, our font manager. So I have all of my fonts in here, but you can also find the fonts up here inside of CorelDraw. I like using this one over here because it keeps it out of the way. Like when you pull this one down, now you got that list that pops up in the middle of your screen. When you do it over here, the list is discrete inside of the design wizard, and then you can actually see what you're working with. So I like using the font manager inside of the design wizard because it doesn't cover over my work.
Okay.
So now next we want to find the fonts that we're happy with. When it comes to rhinestones, and this is just a general rule, you'll, as you come along, you'll immediately be able to eye things as you see them and be able to tell if a rhinestone would fit in there or not.
Mm-hmm.
So with it being small as it is right here, I don't think a rhinestone will fit in there. We're going to go to our place and fill tab. Okay. So inside of the design wizard, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different tabs. You're never going to use all 10, you know. I use 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, but I can do everything that you've seen me do in the past 10 years by using just 4 out of these 10 tabs.
Mm.
So a lot of the stuff that we see is like, it can be overwhelming, but don't let it be. Once you understand what they do, you're gonna be calling me and be like, Ray, I bet you didn't know this, like, because there's 1,000 different ways to do things.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm gonna click on Mickey. I'm gonna go to my place and fill tab. The place and fill tab is where you will create your outlines and create your rhinestone templates. The edit tab is just that. It's the edit tab. It has a lot of editing functionalities in there. It's such as text spacing, nudge object, copy selected. The text effects, we're not gonna we are going to play around with that, but that's more so intermediate. We're going to do basic text now, but the text effects, when we get into that, that's more so intermediate. Mockups, as simple as it is, it allows you to take this Mickey and throw him on a shirt, just that simple. I highlighted Mickey and the text Mickey. I left click on the shirt and here it is. I didn't get the whole Mickey. Look like I only got his name. Let's go back and do that again. Right click down here and delete that page. Oh, that's why I didn't get the whole Mickey. So what I did was I came down and I highlighted it like that. You see, it's still only highlighting just Mickey, the words. The reason why it's doing that we have in CorelDraw and in the Rhinestone Wizard. In CorelDraw, it's right here. It's called the wireframe. We click on the wireframe, we can see that Mickey's frame to his picture was still there. It's still there. The wireframe is also located in the design wizard over here. So I can switch it to enhanced view or wireframe right here in the design wizard. So with it on wireframe, now we can click here and we should be able to delete it.
Yep.
Simple as that. I'm gonna Control Z it back. Let me get off of wireframe, enhance. And now I'm gonna right click on it. We're gonna outline trace and clip art. Outline trace clip art turns this raster image into a vector image. As you can see, they look the same. They look identical. They was twins walking down the street. You wouldn't be able to tell me which name was raster and which name was vector. Like, you know what I mean?
Although the one that you just made, the lines are cleaner.
They are.
Like the top one is a little more, jagged and such, and the bottom one is much more clean.
Nice observation. That's what vectorizing does for you. It gives you those nice, crisp, clean lines so that you can use them as cut lines. So now when we use our wireframe, as you can see, that box is no longer there because that box was just a frame for his image. And when we did our vectorization, we put it, I have an option checked to remove the background. Let me go back. I don't know why I do it like that. There we go. But I usually forget to talk about that part right there. So let's right click, outline trace, and clip art. So right here at this screen right here, and my apologies, Tonya, I blew right past this part, but it's just pretty, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's the power trace. So after you right click and you clip art, it's going to automatically do this right here.
So you're saying the best, do you ever have to change the settings, or
here
does the software kind of, it has its balance?
It's 78, 79% accurate. Where when you drop it in here, it's going to do the best it can to give you a clean vectorized image. Now, sometimes though, what may come out here, you may look at it and be like, no, it needs fixed. So then you can play with the detail here. You can cut the detail up or down, smooth it left or right, and choose corner smoothness. But what I say, 78%? 78% is going to be right. The other 22%, I mean 32%. No, 22%. The other 22%, it's going to be you tinkering, you playing around with the detail until it looks right. You turning the smoothing up or down until it looks right, But as you'll be able to see, and that's only tapping it just a little more, like I need a little more detail, and it's gonna give you a little more detail. I've never had to remove detail, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've never had to remove smoothing. I usually it's cutting up one of those two values to make the image better.
Okay.
And I always have delete original image and remove background check.
Okay.
Then we just hit OK. And what it did was, let's go to our wireframe. It removed the background and removed the original image as well. In doing so, though, it also broke the entire, wait a minute, Okay, not yet. So we still have to ungroup all objects. After you ungrouped all objects, now everything is free. The nose is separate from his face. The mouth is separate from the tongue. We can't see the tongue there, but we wireframe it. It's there. And we're going to go ahead. Let me Control Z it back. We're going to go ahead and make his tongue red. Click on it, make it red. Boom. And we're going to select one eye, hold shift, select the other eye, and I'm going to just make them cream. And I'm going to weld them together. Now, the reason why you hold shift. So let's just say you got two Mickeys. You can grab one Mickey and move them like so. If you hold shift and you click on Mickey, again over here, you bring up what's this bounding box. As you can see the bounding box, bring up this bounding box. The bounding box shows you what all you have selected. Oh, this is going to be fun. Because I'm going to do it. I have to do it like this so that you understand and so that you get it. Okay? So we have what's called a selection tool. This is the selection tool, the pick tool. I keep calling it the selection tool. It's called the pick tool. The pick tool allows you to just go in there and click on Mickey. Boom. Now we can tell this is the only Mickey we have selected because it has the nodes around it. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
We click on this Mickey, it has nodes around it. If we click right here on his ear, it brings up nodes around the whole face. But if I'm going to the edit tab, if we nudge this over, as you can see, when we clicked on that part, it only selected his ears and not the rest of him. His face, his eyes, his tongue, it only selected what you clicked on. Let's nudge him back over there. So if I go in there and I click on his nose, it only selected the nose, right? So we can click on things to select them, and it's going to select that entire object that's all one solid piece, right? So if I go in there and I click right here on the eyeball, it selects both eyeballs because I have them welded together, right? But if I go in there and use my pick tool and I go in there and pick it like this, meaning I draw a box around, we're going to just draw the box around his whole head and let it go. It only selected the eyes. Not only did it select the eyes, let's drag them out, it selected the eyes and the pupil as well. Here's why. When using your selection tool, your pick tool, when drawing around an object, you have to make sure the entire object is inside of that square. It's not, you will not have selected anything. So perfect example, I'm gonna put a whole square around Mickey and I'm gonna let go. As you can see, I got the M-I-C and the K from Mickey, from the other Mickey up there inside of my square. You see that? When I let go though, it only grabbed that Mickey. Why didn't it grab the M-I-C? The M-I-C was in my box too. It's not going to grab the M-I-C because that's not M-I-C. That's actually M-I-C-K-E-Y. So in order to grab the whole M-I-C-K-E-Y, I got to go in there like this. Now I'm grabbing the whole M-I-C-K-E-Y, and I'm grabbing Mickey Mouse as well. Those two objects are the only thing that's inside of my pick tool. So when I let go, now it has, as you can see, if I grab Mickey ear right here, it's Mickey and Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back. If I come in like this and I highlight, even if I highlight all of this area here, it's only going to highlight Mickey, the word, because the entire Mickey space, let me do it again. Entire Mickey space is not in the square. Mickey's eyeballs is not in the square. His nose, nothing of Mickey is in the space. So when I let go, it's only going to highlight the text. If I do it like this, and I come in there and I go like this, it's only going to get those bottom three on the right.
Okay.
All right. Perfect example. I can go in there and just grab the eyes, the nose, and the pupils by making sure I only highlighted that area. Boom. So now I got all three. I can move them all at once. That's going to come in real helpful when you say like, oh, I only want these two. You can go right in there and grab those two and then pull them out using the crosshair. Or you can just be like, I only want these two. Boom. Or these three. And I'm only making sure the three that I want are in the square. So now I got those three and I can move them at once.
Okay.
Another one. Say these are different colors. We know they're the same size because I copied and pasted them. But let's just say we got objects of different colors, right? They're the same size though. So I'm just trying to make them different colors. And I'm going to make this one up here pink too. So we have what's called helpers. These three boxes at the top of the Rhinestone Wizard. So let me drag it out some. Inside of the Rhinestone Wizard, you have this top row here where it says Design Wizard, Video Tutorials, Shop TRW, and Contact. Below that, we have the stone size. If you use the drop-down box on the right, you see all of the stone sizes for each stone. SS6, SS6.2. I made additionals. So there's an original SS6, then the SS10, then you got 8, 10, 16. But I went in there and I tinkered with the numbers and I made variations for my own personal use. For when you buy an SS6 stone, they say the diameter is 0.097. But what if you bought a SS6 stone and the diameter was actually 0.102?
Won't fit.
It won't fit, right? So you got to make that adjustment. So I pretty much made a SS6.2, which is a little larger than a SS6. And then I got a SS10.2, which most rhinestones are 0.130. I made my 10.2 0.133. It's going to be a little bigger. And then I made a third version, a 0.138 for AB color rhinestones or rhinestuds, which tend to be a thicker.
So I know that Matt with TRW, he always suggests a whole size of 0.135.
Okay, 0.135 may be great, perfect when you're getting TRW rhinestones. You know what I mean? But what about when you're buying rhinestones from other manufacturers?
Right.
You know, I did 0.130 for the longest. And then I went and ordered some AB rhinestones and they wouldn't fit. Oh, I was mad. I was livid. I was like ready to call and cuss the rhinestone company out. Like, you know what I mean? But they were AB rhinestones, you know, which meant they were thicker. I started tweaking the settings, and now what I do is if I order from a new manufacturer or whatever, I'll just print me out a row. I'll start at 0.130, 0.133, 0.135, 0.136, and then do a size, cut that little row out, and then see how easy it is to brush into before I waste a whole
piece of flock.
Yeah. That's
but then have you found a sweet spot though? I mean, like I saw you, so that those two SS10 sizes that you created, did you find that that's kind of a sweet spot for no matter which rhinestone you may try to brush in, that they tend to fall into place?
My sweet spot is 0.133.
0.133.
Yeah. That's my sweet spot. My last roll of rhinestone flock, all of them were cut at 0.133. Flawless. You know what I'm saying? If you make the hole too big, now you got, you know,
they move around. They can't line up and be straight when you go to put them on transfer tape and all of that. Right.
That part right there, you don't want to do that, because then it's going to look like your spacing was off. It's gonna look like, you did it by hand. One rhinestone gonna be on this side, one rhinestone gonna be on that side, one rhinestone gonna be on this side. I've tried it. I brushed SS6 stones into an SS10 template. If you do it like that, take your rhinestone brush and brush them all one way to where they all end up on the right side of the circle. Then it's gonna look presentable. But let's dive back in. So I had to break down these sizes, and if you need me to, I'll screenshot this screen right here. This is the editing screen where I pretty much went in and edited those sizes so that they can fit. I think I am going to actually just fine tune this chart and then just put it on the rhinestone world for everybody. Okay, I had to show you that part to show you this. The next row down never changes.
Never change. Okay.
This row right here never changes. No matter what tab you're on, it never changes. The bottom row, as you can see, when I'm jumping from tab to tab to tab, the bottom row never changes, because these are our basic or general rows. This row right here lets you switch song size immediately just by clicking it. The next one, resize your rhinestone design with one click. I've never used this button though. The next one is replace all stones selected with the size chosen. I use this frequently. The next one, left click to set stones. Shift, I've never used this or whatever. Never used this. Click to restore set stone sizes, never. This part right here, you're going to use this every time you open the design wizard. The one on the left lets you select everything that's the same size. So if I click right here and I left click on this, it selected all of those Mickey Texas because they all were the same size. If I click right here on this pink and I click the middle button is left click, same color. So if I click right here, it's going to select everything on the page that's the same color. Boom. And I can either drag them from here where you see the crosshair. You see the crosshair pop up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's how you know that you're on top of whatever you have selected. Once you come down here, you no longer see the crosshair. All right. So the last one is, let's click right here, and it says left click, same size and color. So if I left click there, it's not going to select anything else because nothing else is the same size and color. But let both of those be purple or aquamarine. And if I click up here and click right here, saying they are the same size and color, so they both gonna get selected.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That comes into play when you're dealing a lot with we talk about rhinestones that are all over the place, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing this in general because this may be a design like this, and you're like, oh, how am I going to go in there and unless you want to, like, how am I going there? I want to move all of the purple stones. Unless you want to click on one, hold shift, click on the other one, click on this one, click on this one, click on this one. You'll click on one, select all of the same color, boom, and just drag them right out of there. Boom.
Mm.
Click on this one, select all of the same size and color, boom. It's still only going to get those because they're the same size and color. So it gives you the parameters, 3 parameters, which pretty much will help you select anything in your design.
Okay.
Oh, I could have went in there and just did this. It looks like I got all 3 of them, but I only got the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I pick items out, like, sure enough, I can go in there and click on this eye right here and drag it out. But in order to get the eye and the outline and the nose, I gotta click 3 times. I gotta click here, hold shift, click here, continue holding shift and click here just to get all 3 of those pieces. When I can just come in from the side, grab them 3, and I got them already. So that's what makes that tool so useful, is being able to boom, go in there and grab what you want, or boom, grab what you want out of chaos. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move right along. Had to show you those things. Those things are critical for you moving things around and placing things, and so you won't get frustrated when it comes to this part, the text part. So we have our text. If we try to place and fill and add a rhinestone in here, we get an error. Why do you think we got the error?
I don't know.
You said it earlier. Okay, so if this is a rhinestone, we're gonna pop this rhinestone right here. Boom. What's the problem?
Oh, it's too big.
Right. So, which means that in order for a rhinestone, any rhinestone design to work, the image has to be thicker than this circle here.
Okay.
So
No matter what font you're working with, it has to be at least big enough for the rhinestone circle to fit within the shape.
correct. Unless, let me show you. unless you're only going to use these circles to visualize what you like. I can take this one circle right here, and even though it's way bigger than the line that I just placed it on, I'm using this line to take these stones and to keep those stones curved just like that. Even though it doesn't fit the line, I'm using that line, and I can make a Mickey this size using that line, even though it doesn't fit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I'm just tracing them with circles. You know what I'm saying? But
you're not going to get the definition that you would want as far as a fill pattern. I'm trying to say you might get an outline pattern, but you're not going to get a fill pattern because you don't have enough space for the holes to actually fill in the space.
Nice catch. Nice. I like you, Tonya. Like you've done your research. I see that now.
Well, a lot of this is similar. It's some of it is similar to Silhouette, but not the terminology is different. Right. Yeah. You know, so I can follow along because I know what you're talking about because I know how to do it in Silhouette. I just don't know how to do it in Corel.
Gotcha. So all we need to do is make this bigger. That was only 1.858 inches anyway.
Right.
So let's make it bigger. So around right here is when I'm grabbing my shirt and I'm measuring it. I never in my mind say, oh, it's going on a medium, so it's going to be 8.5 inches. No, I grab that medium and I measure it up just to see, because mediums are different. I learned that when you're dealing with women and they got, what's that? I don't know. They got like 4 different sections in the t-shirt. They got like slim. They got like fitted. You know what I mean? They got slouchy.
Relaxed, but yeah.
So now that it's bigger, this is when I'd be like, okay, 7.4. No, I just measured it. It need to be 8.5. I'll get my sizing down right. Let me make my workspace bigger. Okay, so with nothing selected at all, this line here, remember we went over this line and I was telling you about, this is the toolbar where they got the tools and stuff. The next line is your informational line. It shows us what size our canvas is, our workspace. Right to the right of it, it's showing 8.5 by 11, which is a letter. We're going to change that to 13 by 19. I'm only changing it to 13 by 19 because my printer prints 13 by 19. So that gives me a good reference visually to look at to say, okay, yeah, fine. So now I'm only going to size it up for video purposes. But 8.4 is good. We're gonna go like 8.9. So now, when we click on Mickey, and let me run through this section right here first. It's easier than you think. You only got a few options. Let's take the add stones option off right now. And now we use this to create our outlines. We use this to create our contours. So if I wanted to click right here on Mickey, I can go outside, no stones, one island, and I'm gonna leave everything else the same. For the most part, for the first year, I didn't touch none of these numbers in here. I only touched one, changed the island from 1 to 2 or 0. You know what I mean? I kept everything for the most part the same.
Now, what's an island?
so the island, perfect. An island is our contour. Same, do they call it contour in Silhouette?
They don't, I mean,
It's an outline basically. So if I got one island to the outside and I hit island fill here, it makes one island to the outside. Let me just add.
Okay, so like one row, one single like row of stones around the contour of the shape.
Right. In
Okay.
this instance, there's one single island up under this pink island. And if we did it again, we click on the black and we said one island to the outside, left everything the same. I'm gonna just change it blue so we can see it. Now there's the pink island that's sitting on top of the black island that's sitting on top of the blue island.
And each one of those would become a, when you, I guess if you turned it into the stone, how when you get there, I might be going ahead of you.
Yeah.
They would each be spaced appropriately for the stones so that they don't overlap.
Not right now.
Oh, not right now. Okay.
Not right now. I am showing you the islands as they would refer to outlines.
Because it looks like it seems like it's similar to what, like an offset in Silhouette.
Okay, that's the term I was looking for because I don't know the terminology in Silhouette. So that's what it is. It's an offset contour. And most other softwares, they use the word contour for the outline, but that's what it is. I did the offset twice.
Okay.
The stones won't fit in here in the black or the blue because I didn't make my contour big enough. I just did the offset to show you that when we do our offsets or our contours or outlines, I just wish it was one general word that all softwares use, but that's neither here nor there. When we do something like this, and let me go back a step. Let's not do, I'm gonna keep it on 3 islands because I want you to understand. We got this pink island that's on top of the black island that's on top of the blue island, right?
Okay.
If I take this pink island, click on it, hold shift, and click on the black, and I trim out the pink island like so. When I move the pink island, it's blue up under there. That's because we cookie cut the pink through the black. I'm gonna move this blue off to the side so we can see. So I basically took that pink island that was on top of that black island and I cookie cut it through the black.
Kind of like the slice tool in Cricut.
Kind of like the slice tool. It's the slice tool. Yep.
Oh.
So I'm gonna move this back. I'm gonna move the pink away. So now we got that. We already had chopped through the black. So I'm gonna move the pink back and use that pink again and chop through that blue. So click on pink, hold shift, click on blue. We're gonna trim it by using our trim here. So now what we have is we have our inside, we have our first outline, then we have our second outline.
Ray, I like how you said that even though you have those 3 different islands in Design Space, Cricut, they call it the offset.
Yeah.
The stones will not fit because they are not sized for that particular space.
Island, the spacing.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if you make an offset, you just assume I got enough room. But if those stones can't fit inside that line, it's not going to look right.
Right. Like in Silhouette, when you do your offset, you have a space where you can tell it how much spacing you want. So like if I were going to create an outline around my text, I would take my offset and I would turn my offset to 0.130 because I know that that 0.130 is the size of my hole. So that when if I create another offset on top of that, it will create another offset equal to the one that I just created before it, and the spacing would be right, so that when I turn the rhinestone panel on and it turns everything into circles, the circles line up just the way they're supposed to. But yeah, I get the concept.
Precisely. So I had to show you the island part so that you can understand. We're gonna leave that like that, and I'm gonna drag Mickey out. And now we're going to go back into our place and fill tab, and we're going to put to the outside, add stones now. We're going to leave everything the same, and we're going to island fill. The thing about this is, it's a 3-part process, 3-step process with each fill, whether it's a path fill, hatch fill, island fill, or offset fill. It's a 3-part process. You want to hit the fill button, then you want to clear the paths and merge overlapping stones. Each and every time you do a fill, it's a 3-part process.
Okay, so can you say that again? You say the first step would be to
use the fill. So the first step is we're going to use our island fill.
Okay, so we're going to say island fill.
Yep. Clear the paths, which is down here.
Clear the path. Okay, that arcing thing with the X. Okay.
Yep. And then merge overlapping stones.
Okay.
So basically what's happening is every time we use a fill, those lines come up. Those lines pretty much help to keep the rhinestones in order. When we clear the path, let me zoom in so you can see. When we hit clear the paths, it gets rid of the lines. When we merge overlapping stones, it gets rid of every stone that was overlapped. Did you see it? So that process has to be done every time you hit that fill. You want to follow it up with the clear the paths from the selected objects and follow that up with merge overlapping stones. If not, your stones will either be all stuck together, meaning when you click on one, all the rest of them will move as well, or they're gonna be overlapping. You know, you're gonna go cut it out, and it's gonna cut a clean line through all your circles because
you didn't clear the path.
Yep, that line is still there, which actually goes straight through the circles. So visually, it don't look like it's going through the circles at all, but yeah, it's gonna cut right through the circles, and now you have wasted flock. You know what I'm saying? I've done it. I'm only trying to help people from it happening to them.
Right. I mean, you have your island fill there, and then the button that's right next to it is an offset fill. So maybe in TRW Design Wizard, it's actually called something different because this is actually a different spacing.
Yeah, I know, but check this out. I was getting there. Nice observation. I was getting there. I've never used this right here. Watch this. I've never used it. Maybe I'm using it wrongly, but watch this.
Object is incorrect type to support this operation.
What? All right, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's try it. Maybe that was on the outside. Let's try on the inside. Let's see what's going on. What? See, I've never used that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and the times that I did use the offset fill, it was like, no, that's not it. But we use hatch fill.
So I know what the hatch fill is. Hatch fill is what they call the linear field in Silhouette, which is
Yeah.
just giving you the stone straight across and up and down.
Yes. Offset fill, I've never used it. The
I got
times
a
when huh?
very weird question. Okay, so the TRW Design Wizard, mainly from what I see, is all about stones, correct?
No,
No.
no. It's purpose, or it's yes and no. So its purpose is rhinestone,
Right?
but you gotta realize under rhinestones is everything else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, rhinestones, if you ask me, is almost like the top of the spectrum when it comes to mediums that you can use to design with. So under you can't cut rhinestones without knowing how to cut vinyl. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So my question is, in CorelDraw, are you able to make your offset in that software first?
Yes, I use instead of using that fill, that offset fill,
Yes.
I pretty much make my offset by just deciding how big I want to make my island. So island on the outside, one island. Now the contour spacing of 0.75 is perfect for rhinestone. So if I hit island fill, it's going to make it perfectly 0.75 on the edge, right?
So you're not showing your screen though.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all.
That's okay.
So island fill makes sense because all it's doing, like you said, the edge is going immediately around the font, around the edge. It's not creating a bigger offset. So I
No, yeah.
get,
No, I'm about to show you. I had to show you to get there. So
yeah,
check this out. That's with the stones. Let me clear the paths and merge overlapping stones. If I wanted to do an offset like that, then I'm gonna leave it at 0.075, right? But I'm gonna take off add stones. I'm gonna click it, and I'm gonna use an island fill and change it to black. And then there you have it. There's my offset for my outline. But if I try to put rhinestones in there, as you can see, that rhinestone right there won't fit because it's 0.75. I mean 0.075. But if I change this to 0.15 and then do my outline, boom, boom, and boom. Now, if I come back over here and change it to 0.075, the size for rhinestones, and click on the inside and add stones, now we have to remember though, that's one whole piece. So we gotta trim it. We gotta trim out our Mickey from our black contour offset. Boom. Now that I got it trimmed, there's nothing in the inside. Now, if I click on my yellow and did an island fill inside of just the black, we're going to clear the paths and merge overlapping stones. You can't see them because they're black. Let's change them to orange. So it got most of them. And as you can see, it placed it in the center of that black outline perfectly.
right.
So that's this offset. It has never worked for me. I might have to call Rhinestone Wizard and see why it doesn't work for me, but I've never used it. I've always did my contour and outlines using the island fill and determining how many islands I'm going to use to create that. That makes sense?
If it ain't broke, we're not gonna fix it now.
So inside CorelDraw, I make all of my contour, offset, outlines, I gotta use uh, uh what is it? Cricut jargon. I gotta use Cricut jargon.
We only have
Hey,
no, we don't have
Uh,
the
oh, that's
off.
silhouette. It's silhouette jargon.
Silhouette. Yeah, I was gonna say because that's not even Cricut. That's not Cricut jargon. I use Cricut too.
Yeah, yeah, silhouette jargon.
We only have offsetting Cricut. That's it. That's
Yeah,
all we got.
see, I've never even played with the silhouette software.
And
I've only learned the Cricut software to help other people to be able to cut out my files. I've never owned a silhouette, so I'll be so lost on the terminology and everything.
Cricut is making waves though. They are slow. Every week they got a different update on one more thing they done changed. But trust me, they way behind. But it's
Yeah.
They
okay.
are way behind, but they have come a long way in the last 2 years to really try to make that software a little bit more robust. I wish they would. I wish that they would not hold your designs hostage.
Yeah,
Because like I said, if I create a design in Cricut and it's an SVG when I create it, even though they save every file and you can find your files, but if they're all saved as PNGs, that don't do me no good.
right, right.
If I created it as an SVG, when I import it or use it somewhere else, it should still be an SVG.
Yeah,
And
most definitely.
they don't allow that.
They just trying to add some proprietary to their software, and I get it. You know what I mean?
I get that too. If I were using any portion of their
Design.
designs or fonts or anything like that, I would understand that. But if I come in and use their software and I use my own system fonts and my own, anything else, then, I should be able to save that design as an SVG. And if I want to import it over into another software program, to make edits to it or whatever, I should be able to do that. I mean, you can do that with Silhouette. I mean, that's the only way, that's the only reason why people can create rhinestone templates like I do in Silhouette and save them as an SVG if you have the business edition software that allows people to be able to import them into Cricut.
Most definitely. That's what sets different softwares apart. And I think that gripe, they're just trying to build them a community. Like I mean, they're trying to build them a community and they're trying to catch up. I get it, I really do. They're saying it almost like what's that? Not Canva, the other one, Kittle.
Who?
Kittle.
Kittle?
You're not hip to Kittle yet?
No, Kittle. What the heck is Kittle?
Kittl. I was gonna dive into it after we get done. Check it out. You're gonna be amazed. It's gonna blow your way. It's free. Try it out. Have you tried it yet, Andrea?
Yes, I have, but the only thing I don't like is I think it's stuck to my laptop. You have to open a laptop with it. And I use other apps like an iPad. I use the Android phone. And so they don't want you to use Kittle on those apps. You can open it, but you can't design. You can only.
Okay. Try it. Kittle, game changer. It's a AI community-based online graphic software that uses templates. Simple. I'm gonna leave it at that. Your face is like, what? It's Canva on steroids.
Oh, Gloria, and I've got Canva Pro, but like I say, I don't play around in Canva enough to really, get. But I've seen some people who have done some amazing things with Canva, and of course, people are doing the frames and they're doing all. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what you can do if you have any like iota of graphic design in you.
You doing your own thing in your own niche, and baby, you blowing it away. I see you, and you are doing amazing things with what you have, and that's really the key to it. Use what you have
right
to make you need it to be. And
Yeah.
that's key. You know, Ray is just trying to help us to upgrade where we are. But
Mhm.
the other things, like you said, they are appropriate for everybody's particular niche. But I like what you do. You know, you make it work like that. The no Jesus,
Oh,
no.
that's what I have on today. My
Yeah.
no Jesus, no peace.
Yes.
I
Yes.
love when I
And
really
this,
read that it said no, no. I said, oh, I got that. Like that's so cool. But
Yes.
you know, we all do our own thing. And the thing is, when you study your craft and make it more proficient for you, that's how you excel in the details. It's all about the details.
right,
So
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I had someone that reached out to me today. I think I posted something in one of those crafting groups or whatever, and her comment was, she says something along the lines where like, your work always amazes me, or something like that, and
Yes.
so that's how you know that you're resonating with people, right? That what you're doing is something that they enjoy seeing. When they
Yes.
come back and they actually comment on your post and they leave you that type of feedback, you're reaching an audience. So
It's
I
heartwarming.
was tickled. Yeah, yeah, it feels good,
Yeah.
because I don't think people sometimes they realize how hard this social media thing is,
Yeah. Yeah.
and building a following, or like I said, my hats off to you. Like I said, I know some days probably like, 4,000 probably seems like a drop in the bucket when you see some of these AI groups that, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, they got over 1 million followers in like less than 6 months, right? They're
You
like,
about to,
what in the
you,
world?
you about to make me
But
cry because this is my fifth group. This is my fifth time trying to even grow anything. Like and to to be at 4,200, I wake up and be like, oh man, I would have never imagined. You know what I'm saying? So when it get to 10,000, when it get to 15,000, I'm gonna be forever so grateful, just as I am today. Like, you know what I mean, a tear almost came to my eyes just to even know, like, oh yeah, we are at 4,000 now, because we were at 3,000 for the longest, and 2,000 for the longest, and 1,000 for the longest. So
well, I'm only at 300. And so, like I said, it I, like I said, I take my hats off to anybody that has been able to grow a group and, like I said, have consistency. Because, like I said, people join groups all the time, right?
yeah,
That's not what makes your group. The
right,
numbers don't make your group. The
right.
engagement from people. And so I can understand sometimes when I see your post and you're frustrated, right? You're like, how we got 4,000 people in here and I got 2 comments on my post?
Yeah, yeah. It it
You
it it
know,
takes
um,
it takes me left field, because every time I step out this door in real life, take social media out of the picture. Every time I step out this door, everywhere I go, out the blue, somebody can chase me down from across the store and be like, I just wanted to say I like your shirt. And I'm so blown away. Here it is, still 10 years later. I stand there like, for real? You like it for real? They be like, yes, I love it. And then I tell them, I made it.
mhm.
And then the emotions go through their face and through their body. They're like, what? You made that? I'll be like, yes, I did. Like, so to get that feeling every day, I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm
I know
not
you're not.
exaggerating. I'm talking about every day to get that feeling. And then to be online and have people safeguarding their feelings and safeguarding their emotions and shit. I'm like, I know this is a winner. You telling me 4,000 people seen it and only 2 people are considerate enough to say, oh, wow. Like, you know what I'm saying?
And sometimes I wonder if a lot of that comes from, a lot of these groups kind of stronghold their
Yeah.
members,
Yeah.
right? What you can do, what you can say,
Yeah.
you can't post this, you can't say that, you can't, so you get to the point where you're like, oh shit, I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say nothing, I'm just gonna
Right.
look, and so that's why, I applaud you again for not worrying about you know, what's for you, you know, whether somebody, like you say, comes in and says that they're selling something or whatever, that's not going to take away. Your
Right.
following is going to follow you regardless. I come
Right.
in and I say, I'm selling this shirt, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to buy it? If they don't, if I'm not resonating with anyone, then they're not gonna buy my shirt, right? Doesn't matter that I come on your feed and say I'm selling it, because people who are loyal to you are gonna continue to keep buying your stuff. But you also understand that there are people who are joining your group, right? Maybe just joining to get some knowledge. They may not vibe with what you do, right? But they still want to get an understanding of what it is that you do, and they might vibe with somebody else. So you allow that to happen, because why? What happens is now you create a synergy within your group,
Yes.
that brings in lots of people, right?
Lots of people.
And
yeah.
that now people can get, what do they get? They get one-stop shopping, right? And be like, oh, I like that. And I like Ray, and I like Andrea, and I like all those things. And so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stay in this group because they meet all my needs.
And
but when you,
go ahead. Go ahead, continue.
no, because then when you restrict people to only this thing, they can only buy your stuff. They can only, you know, talk about your things. They can't talk about anybody else's. People leave. People leave, and they gravitate and they go somewhere else where they have more freedom to be able to express themselves. And so, you know, that's one of the reasons why, like I said, I try to build my group the same way. This is a free zone right here, right?
Yeah.
You want to come in here and you have a business. I want everybody here to network. I want people to be able to meet new people, new customers, do whatever. We both selling rhinestone shirts. That's not a problem.
Not a problem.
What I do is different than what you do.
Yeah.
You know, but you find where, like I said, I think people get so beat up in some of these other groups that when they go and they join other places, they don't know until you have to keep reminding people. You know, you have to keep reminding people that, you know, yes, I am the admin. I have moderators. They help me manage this group. But this is our group, right?
Yeah.
This is the group that we make it. I only have these certain rules, you know, just be friendly, courteous, kind, whatever. But other than that, everything goes. And unless people start abusing things, or you start seeing something within the group, you know, that you have to curtail, then you just let the group grow organically, and it does what it does, you know. So I appreciate it. I mean, your group is now like one of the groups that I check, like, you know, several times a day, just to kind of see what's going on, what people are doing, you know. When I have something that I've done new, come back and, you know, post in it, because people have been very favorable, you know, have been, you know, appreciative, and, you know, have had nice things to say. And it allows me to grow as I'm creating, like, okay, people do like what I'm doing. It's not just me.
Right. And that's the feeling. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was the feeling that I want other people to have upon joining the group, upon sharing their work, upon sharing their experiences. I wanted a group or community where people was like, for real, that happened to you too? Like, you know what I mean? Now we got a whole post and a thread with the problem and the solution. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this happened when you did this too, trying to do this. Now we got lots of like-minded people on there helping each other on with the like-minded goal is to create great works of art. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I wanted a place where people could come and not even grow to a point to where it's a team of us. Like, I mean, not just me. Like, I mean, like, I want a team of individuals where I'm teaching Corel, somebody else is teaching shortcuts a lot. Like, I mean, somebody else is teaching Silhouette, like somebody else is teaching Affinity, like, but it's Rhinestones or us. Like, I mean, like, what? Did you know inside that Rhinestones or us group that you can learn rhinestones in 5 different ways? Like, you know what I mean? They have 5 different teachers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly. Yeah. I mean, that would be like you said, again, one-stop shopping. You ain't got to go nowhere else to be able to learn how to do things. You don't have, I mean, not to say, you just stay here, but I'm just saying when you come to this group is going to meet your needs on so many different levels
Yes.
that you don't have to search and find and worry about, is somebody going to help you?
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I was timid at first because I didn't know, because I belong to groups where that is discouraged. No way, no how do you come into my group and tell somebody that you know how to do something and you can teach them, or you're willing to show them, or that's my group.
Right.
Like, okay, well, fine. I mean, fine,
Yeah.
fine. I won't, but my thing is people have questions. And if you don't use that software, your focus is mainly Cricut, and somebody hasn't and says that they're using Silhouette, and your response to them is, oh, that's above my pay grade, don't know.
Right.
Well, you shouldn't then, if somebody in your group can help that person, you should allow them to help them.
Yes, for sure.
And not worry about whether or not that person is going to gravitate to this person or whatever, because they're going to be more willing to stay with you because you've allowed somebody to come in that can help them.
That can help them. Yep.
Like I said, some days I'm like, just people make it make sense to me. I mean, I don't get it. This territorial need or feeling that you guys have. Yes, you have grown your group, 16,000 people, 8,000 people. That's wonderful. But guess what? Jennifer Maker has grown her group to almost 800 something thousand people.
Right.
Them I started posting in her group, and they are some of the most, like I said, appreciative people. I mean, and I realized that she's got the admin assist thing on. There's certain keywords you can't use. It'll automatically, but I get that. When you've got that many people in a group, you need to do those things, but there's not very many limits or restrictions or whatever. And it's just been a welcoming place for me to get people to let me know whether or not what I'm doing makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And that gratification, it resonates through you, through me, around to Andrea, like, I mean? Yes. And I want people to feel that sense of pride when they come to Rhinestones or us, to see that there's no, I don't have none of those crazy rules. Like, you know what I mean? I even opened up, I don't know if people seen that here, because I haven't even utilized it, but I've opened up a buying and selling section now too. Like, you know what I mean? You can actually go on there and buy and sell. So I never want anybody to feel like there's nothing that they can't do in Rhinestones or us, as long as, hence, it's Rhinestones. Like, you know what I mean? It can be sublimation. That's the plus part. Like, you know what I mean? So it's not just Rhinestones, but you're not about to come in here and think you just about to be selling leather jackets because you bought them on wholesale and you want to retail them. Unless you
right.
Those jackets, get those jackets out my group. Like, you know what I mean? That's the only type of stuff like that you're gonna see coming from me. It's not Rhinestones. It has nothing to do with Rhinestones, or you're in here trying to step on somebody else's toes. Don't step on somebody else's toes if you can create your own stairway. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. I get that, definitely.
Like, I love the help, but don't knock another man down trying to because that's what happened to me. I appreciated the lady's comment, but I just didn't like how she did it. Like, I'm telling the group I don't sell transfers and why I don't, like, you know what I mean? And then she comes and she was like, well, everybody try this company over here, they sell transfers and they're great at it. Like,
yeah. I remember that post where she said, well, she bought Impresa Modena or whatever, Modine or whoever that guy is from Mexico,
yeah.
And my thing is, like I said, yeah, that's all well and good, like you said, right? But you didn't need to do that. You didn't need to do that here. What you just say is,
make a separate post.
Exactly.
You can make it. You can do it in Rhinestones or us. Just don't. It's a word. It's a word for it. Like, not slighted.
Right.
That may not be the word that fits, but it was almost like she slighted my post when she could have just made a whole nother post. Like, I'm still not gonna make a rule about it because it doesn't happen often. I'm gonna just check people as they do it and move along because I want people to feel free. I want them to feel free. And I'm just now starting to get people in there posting, and I love it. It used to be me, Andrea, and a few other people holding it down, posting. Now, you know, I'm starting to see unfamiliar names. I'm starting to see, oh, who is this person? They knew, like, you know what I mean? And I want it though. I want essentially in due time to have a core group of leaders, like, you know what I mean, to where maybe 5 or 10 of us on a Zoom call for 20 minutes out of the week, just coming up with ideas, trying to come up with different things to help the group grow. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be the only one in my group holding trainings. Like, you know what I mean?
I understand. It's like I said, you got 4,000, I got 300, and it's a lot of work, you know, trying to keep people engaged, because they join for a reason, right? They were looking for something, and so, you know, they're looking to be fed. But like I said, it's a lot of work, you know, trying to figure out, you know, what everybody wants and how to fit it in all in on the different time zones and so forth and so on, and not do things that are the same repetitiveness over and over and over again, you know. So yeah. Well, before we go, I know we still got a few more minutes, and I didn't know whether or not you were finished with class or not. And I know we did the island fill, but can you show like the pat, like when you fill in the whole object of something?
Yeah, I was getting there.
Oh, okay. I didn't know whether or not we had stopped class and we were just, you know, fellowshipping.
No.
Yeah, we cooking.
People
we
will
cooking.
see.
What you cooking? What you cooking, Andrea?
That's all we cooking.
and people
we were cooking. I'm hungry.
People will see over time, like my hour isn't really an hour, my 2 hours really isn't 2 hours, unless, oh yeah, I gotta go pick up my girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really per session. Like, we're never going to be on here 5 and 6 hours unless I'm just like, hey y'all, today was a $3,000 day for me, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? And I might let everybody come in, like, you know what I mean? And we out here just partying, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I mean, there's times where I done went 4.5 hours, like, you know what I mean? Just because we're on here vibing, we're enjoying it. Y'all are really learning, y'all retaining the information. So it's not so much more regarding the time versus it is the value. Like, you know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah, I've done 2 classes. You know, I'm trying to branch out there to teach some people how to use Silhouette.
Yeah.
And my very first class was like, we were 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I didn't understand at the time, you know, breaking down your beginner and your intermediate people. And when you get the 2 people meshed together, the beginners will ask you every single question 20 million times. They don't get it. You got to stop and start and stop and start. And so by the time you finish, like I said, it was 4.5 hours later. And I was like, I can't do that again.
Right. I mean, you can.
I mean, and we had a great time. Don't get me wrong. We had a great time. Everybody was very patient, but I also want to be mindful of the people who have knowledge, right? They don't want to sit there and rehash. Their time is valuable to them as well, right? Yeah. So, you know, breaking it down such so that you have, you know, the 2 levels is better. And if you still, like I said, wind up being on for 3 and, you know, like you said, 4 hours or whatever, that's okay, as long as everybody is at the same place at the same time. And like you said, value in the teaching.
Value. So those times where it has went over like that, you got to realize it's solely by my discretion. Like, you know what I mean? And at any given time when you're teaching, you can go ahead and be like, okay, today I know I got to go pick my kids up. I got to go do this and that. I'll start my training and boom, start my timer, and I won't
deviate.
Yeah, I won't deviate from the jargon. I'm gonna follow my lesson plan, and I'm gonna I know y'all, I know we want to talk about this, but we got to jump right back in. I'm gonna be that type of teacher on those type of days where my time is, I got an hour because I got another training right after. There's been times where I've had back-to-back trainings scheduled, and I'm like, so I had one at 1. That I didn't get off of that one till 3:45. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I was like, oh, let me take myself a little break. So that's why I was like, y'all, give me till 4:15. Like, you know what I mean? I could have ended that one at 3 o'clock promptly, but these are my intermediate students, and we hang out every Saturday. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
So we got into a talk about Etsy, search engine optimization, and things of that. Like, you know what I mean? And by the time I looked up, I was like, oh, it's 3:45. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
there will be days like that where, yeah, we may be on here chatting for an hour before we start our 2-hour class. Like, you know what I mean? And then there may be days where hour and 45 minutes, like, oh my God, he flew through it. Like, you know what I mean? And we had 15 minutes to talk. And I'm sorry, y'all, I gotta go, but you know what I'm saying? There
Right.
will be days like that, but those days are few and far beyond. And you will tell because you will be like, okay, let me write my notes down. Because he's on it, he's moving today. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly.
But each class is recorded, you know, and readily available within the day or so.
Okay, yeah. I use Zoom too, so I know how all that works. Gotta wait for it to process and render down and all of that other good stuff.
Yes, ma'am. So I had to show you the other parts before I jumped into this part. So the outline, you see how this right here, this Mickey right here, we did that by simply clicking on the pink and using the stones around Mickey. So we went to our place and fill outside. We kept everything the same and we just did an island fill. Boom.
Right.
We cleared the path and we merged overlapping stones. Well, look how it looks. As far as the K, the E, and the Y versus down here, we actually made that offset outline and we clicked on the outline and we set the stones inside of the black. Oh, wait a minute. See, I still had it clicked on outside. That's why I did that. My apologies. Let me click on inside. This black part right here, island fill, clear the paths and merge overlapping stones. Most people will say, well, why didn't it get the area over here? Well, that stone almost barely fits. So sometimes it just won't take. But that doesn't mean you can't manually populate that one right there, drag this one over here and put one there, and then just edit and fill between two. Those are kind of tight right there, so just drop one back and then hold shift and clear the paths from the selected objects. So that's the outline. I like doing it this way because it's a lot cleaner than this way. See what I mean? Like this way, I still got to go in there and from right here, fix like how the C. I don't like that. Right here is perfect for me already. I can just slide this one in if I want to and slide another one right there. Slide this C here and that's perfect. I'll
So
probably
you're
change.
okay. So what you're saying is rather than to create the outline from the outline of the letters themselves, to create this island
Yes.
with the proper spacing so that when you okay.
So that when I put the stones inside the island, this black island, they came out straight. Look how it did right here on this K. Sure enough, this one is off just a little bit. I can nudge it back into place, but I'll take this row right here and equal space those. But that's perfect. From the K all the way around to the E versus on here, it's like, it looks circly. It looks like somebody took a crayon and tried to go around it and they didn't have a steady hand.
Right, right.
But right here, the K and the E, it's a straight line all the way to the Y. Right here, it jumbles. Sure enough, it still did those stones right here on the K. They look identical. This one right here, 2, 3, up to here. It did the same thing over here, but it still went straight across.
But it gave you the straight line across the K and the E,
Yes.
whereas it dropped that stone in between the two letters.
Yes, makes it look cleaner. Makes it look cleaner, and even right here, how they did the C, they filled it all the way in. But now I can go here with one stone here, one stone here. Me personally, that's just me. I like stones to be parallel with each other. So if this is a line going this way, I want those 3 stones to be parallel versus this stone right here.
Being off-centered. I got you.
Yeah.
So how are you adding those, when you added the other stones, are you like right-clicking and what are you doing? What are you doing to add those those stones?
Okay. There's multiple ways to do it. I'm left click and drag this one. Before I let it go, I right click. So I left click, drag. Before I let it go, right click.
Oh, so you click, drag, and let go.
Click.
And right click and let go.
Yeah. So I left click, drag, right click. You basically hitting right click as you're letting go of the left. I mean, you can still have the left press down and press right and then let it go, and it's gonna be there.
Okay.
Here's another way. Same way, just a little different. Grab it, drag it, and press the space bar. The space bar is going to make it like a stamp. So now I'm just dragging and pressing the space bar to stamp a new stone.
Okay.
And the other way, the old school way, is Control C and Control V and just drag it out.
Control V.
But there's also, wait a minute, there's 100 ways to do everything. So say you got one stone. When you hold control, you want to write this down. Hold control to keep the stone on its axis. Whether that's X-axis or Y-axis, if you hold control and you go to move the stone, it will either move left or right on that same axis. You cannot get it to go in circles because it can either go this way or this way or this way or down. It can't go diagonal or nothing. It has to stay on that X and Y axis. Without control, of course, you got freedom to move it.
So if you wanted, that's helpful, I guess, if you wanted to add stones and you wanted them to stay on the same line, like you don't want them to get off, slightly off. You just want them to move over, but you wanted to stay
on that line.
Yes. That line. Okay.
Perfect example. I just drug that one over, holding control, and it's on that line still. We know that it's on that line because if we drop a ruler down from up here, they're both on that line. Now, If you want to fill between this stone and this stone, you can do it 2 ways. There's probably more than that, but click on one stone, hold shift, click on the other stone, and then use our respace stones to make the spacing equal. It'll put that line in the middle. And then you can use your up arrow and just add stones in there.
Wow.
Back arrow takes the stones away.
Now
Right?
that's a feature I wish Silhouette had.
But now you're done adding the stones. You have to hold shift and clear the path. Boom. And it'll get rid of that line. There's a faster way though. You go to the edit tab, click on one, hold shift, click on the other one, and you can just hit this fill between two. Boom. It's going to fill that whole line up. But you still want to remember to hold shift and clear the path. If you don't, say you deselect it, that whole row is still together. So after you use that fill between tool, you want to remember to hold shift and clear the paths. Now when you deselect and select it, all the stones are separated and broken apart.
So that fill between two and the spacing that's there, that 0.02, is that like the is that the minimum? I mean the like, you know, you don't want to go below that number as far as the spacing between the stones are, so you don't cut the flock.
Right. You don't want to go below 0.2.
Okay.
When we were first getting started, remember I had one that was 0.2, fill between two, and then I had one that was 0.8. Let's see here. I wonder what 0.1 looks like. Could we even get away with it? You would never know unless you cut it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You
Ooh.
never know. It looks tight. Look like they got one extra stone in there compared to this one, but it's a tight squeeze. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We wouldn't
I
know.
always I always just err on the side of caution. I think I use a spacing of 0.020 in Silhouette because, like I said, all cutting machines cut differently.
Yeah.
And I know I've heard some people say that they have gone as low as 0.015 as far as their spacing is concerned. But, you know, I think about, you know, with so many different versions of flock out there, some you can cut with the backing on, some that they tell you they want you to take the backing off and put it directly onto the mat. You know,
Yeah.
depending on how sticky it is when you go to pull it off, you know, when you stretch, if you stretch it,
That's gonna rip.
that thin spacing, you're gonna wind up tearing it.
Yeah. So I've had a few times before where I did the design was too big. I had to resize it and make it smaller, but I still used the same size rhinestones, which meant that they were in there extra tight. And you right. As soon as you try to weed it away from the paper, right after it comes off the cutter, it's just going to rip all the way to shreds. Like,
Yeah.
but I think I had them. I'm gonna try. Like I want to do some tests now. Like I want to show people like what I was showing at the beginning. I want to show people this part. I'm gonna make it bigger just because we just seen that it didn't get this one all the way. So let's make it bigger. And what I like using is the hatch fill. The hatch fill is my favorite go-to because it just fills everything in left to right, top to bottom, like so. Sure enough, it didn't go all the way to the edge. And it looks like our spacing is tight. Oh, That's because I got it all the way on 0.138. Let's go back to 0.133. Let's try that again. Boom. Let's hatch fill it. There we go. That's better. Now, even without if we take off the pink, that looks good. Doesn't look bad, you know what I mean? Not perfect, but when I first got started, I was happy. I was satisfied, you know what I mean? The customer was satisfied, and I moved on to the next one.
Right.
A few months later, after doing so many shirts, then I would have did this. Like, hold on. That looks like fill between two. This one right here, that's fill between two here. And now, from here to here, fill between two. Shift and clear the path. And on this one, fill between two. Boom. Shift and clear the path. Not bad. Looks good, but see what happened here? Right here. Right there, that one was off a little bit, which made this whole row look like it slants in. Or is it just me?
No, you're right.
Yeah, it slants in. Because you can see the gap increasing as it goes up.
Right.
So what I would do is, using what I showed you earlier on how to select, because you would have to go through there and click, delete, or look at it and go straight in, straight up, and grab just that row, like so. And boom. If not, the only other way to do it is delete, 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 delete. You know what I'm saying? Delete, delete. When you can go straight in there, zoom in a little bit, and be like, okay, I just want these. Wait a minute. I forgot. We got to remember that that's still there. So I grabbed it because it was white. Go right up through there, grab what I need, boom, and delete it. Doing it like that allows me to. We're gonna use the replace stone, make the spacing equal. Put one right there, shift and clear the path. Put one right here. I do this all the time. I will delete a whole row just to make sure that visually everything is straight. Boom. So now all I gotta do is fill between two this one, shift and clear the paths, and fill between two this one, shift and clear the paths.
Now, would you go in though, right there in the M and the second row from the top? Would you move those stones so that they, like, would you move the third one right there from the left? Would you move it over?
No.
Or not?
No.
Because the spacing would be too much between.
Right. What I would do though is I would do this. On this whole design, at least on the flat spaces, is I would grab that row and just make it another row right there. Boom. And I would do that for the K. Yep, I would do that for the rest of it. Because it looks like it wasn't enough space up there. And then the C looked like it crescented over the top of the rest of the other letters. So I'll put them right there on the edge like so. That way, it looks like it fits the C. You know what I mean? And then I will go the extra step of even
adding.
Yep. So on my curves, I like to go in between two stones. And then like over here, I'll go in between these two stones. And actually, if we drop our ruler down, because I went between those two stones like that, it made them lower than these two stones. So now when I equal space them, it gives it that curve for the top of the seat.
Oh, that's that. You know what? You just because I was getting ready to say, okay, but how's it going to keep the curve when you do that? But I saw when you did that, it automatically it. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's like a game changer because you don't get that feature. I mean, that silhouette, that's beyond silhouette. You would have to kind of physically, manually try to go in there and find your curve and
Yeah.
create. Oh my gosh,
Yep. So
wow.
I just grabbed this one, set it between these two, and I'm holding control when I do this. I hold control and drag this over to the next available between two spot. Slide it over just a little bit more. As you can see, when I do my equal spacing, it nudges them right where they need to go. And it's ready. Now, I probably would take some time, like right here. I'll hold shift and go up, but it looks pretty good. Let's see if they move. Inty hair, they moved, you
Hmm.
know? So when it comes to the curvature, because there's so much that you can do, sometimes I like to say, well, how much did they pay me? And how much time I got? Because
Mm-hmm.
looking at it, I'll be like, I like to see it fits. It fits the rest of the other text, but I can go in there. I'm gonna
And
nudge
clean
it
it up
off
a
to the
little.
side, and I'm a smart fill it, right? So now I'm gonna try it with 0 islands, island fill, clear the pad, merge overlapping stones, and I think I like that C better. Even though I gotta fix it, like you know what I mean? Now it's following the curves, I still gotta fix it, but it looks better.
So basically now what you have hatch fill, what they call hatch fill, linear fill in silhouette, and radial fill, what they call in silhouette, because the radial fill follows the curvature of your letter.
Yes.
So you have two different types of I mean,
Fills,
your
yeah.
stones are actually going in two different directions. You got one that's going more like a curve and the other ones that are going perpendicular left and right.
Yes.
Okay.
But visually to the eye,
It looks better.
yeah,
Yeah.
the C is a better representation of a C versus
The
this
other
one.
one.
Like this one wasn't bad, but I started to see like right here, you ask yourself, does that go right there or does that go right there? You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it throws the next line off. So that's why I was like, let me show it right now before I get too far away from myself. You know what I mean? What?
Okay. So when you say 0 islands, that just means kind of like a you fill in the letter.
Yep, infinite.
Okay.
0 for infinite. Because if we did I'm just going to go bigger just to show you. If we did 1, it's going to go highlighted right on the edge. Next time I'm going to space the classes out by at least an hour and a half because it's still rendering in the background. So it's making my computer move slow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's right on the edge, 0.75. It's always going to be on the edge at 0.75. I tell people when first getting started to never change this, right? Let's change it to 0.095. We click on it, we hit the island fill. Now, as you can see, it's even more off of the edge. It's not directly on the edge now. It's off just a little bit, like by an extra 20 millimeters. And then if you did like a 0.15, they would be even more on the inside. So I tell a lot of people, don't touch the contour, leave it at 0.075. But with your expertise in silhouette, I believe that you'll be confident in changing this number depending on how you want your stones to look, whether you want them directly on the edge, come in some. I mean, we can go 0.15 and they'll come in some more. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, me personally, once I got an understanding, then I just started tinkering. So let's go 0.25. We're gonna hatch fill it this time. And look how further in it is from the edge versus the 0.075. It almost looks like it gave it its own contour.
Oh, that would be great. You know what? That's good for, like, say something. I'm thinking as soon as it did that, I'm thinking about like vinyl.
Yeah.
You know, and you want to create an offset for vinyl.
Yeah.
Like that would create its own offset and then put your stones. So you see what you get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. That's perfect. That does it. Easy does it. I didn't remove the pass because that's a lot of stones. It would have took forever. My computer would have probably froze up like, what are you doing to me, sir? All right, let's see here. I'm gonna show another example. I'm sorry. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever I turn around like that, I got my security monitors and stuff. It just so happened to be back here. So when I hear a sound from one of the from one of the alerts, I gotta instantly turn my head to see what's going on. But let me click here on Mickey and watch this. We're going to do a quick 0.075 inside. Now this magic path right here, we can click on this, but I don't think it really makes a difference. Whether it's clicked, whether it's checked or unchecked, I cannot see a difference. So let's just click on it and hatch fill. Clear the paths, merge overlapping stones, and look. Some designs, I swear, are 2, 3, 4 clicks. But we ain't never gonna tell our customer that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We ain't never gonna tell our customer I did that in 3 clicks. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because I'm charging them $55 regardless. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm charging
That's your design fee?
my design fee is 50, 55, 60, 65, depending on the detail in the design. It started at 50 with no detail, like, you know what I mean? But if this is no detail. This is detail, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
If I'm doing all of that, then it might go from 50 to 75. You know what I mean? But you got to realize this is the price they're paying one time for a rhinestone template that they can make 75,000 shirts off of. If they're not willing to pay $75, find somebody else to do it. Like, you know what I mean? And they will. They might find somebody else, and that other person might do it for 35. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? But as artists, you're going to set the standard for yourself. You're not going to keep telling people $35, like, you know what I mean, knowing good and well you can make 75, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I'd be ashamed to tell you what I've charged people. They've come and asked me to make a custom template for them and what I charge.
no, what? Don't be ashamed, because you got to set the standard, and you wouldn't know to set the standard unless you spoke with somebody who set the standard.
Well, that is true, and it, and I kind of feel like sometimes, like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I knew enough, right? I'm still learning, and so yeah, I think when you cut this, it's gonna be fine, but like, I might sell a template in my Etsy shop for like $6.95. So basically, whatever I sold the template for in my Etsy shop, that's what I charged the customer, because I felt like, well, if they bought it from my Etsy shop, they wouldn't have paid more than
Okay,
$6.95 for it. But
gotcha.
in hindsight,
Yeah,
sometimes doing that, like I say, it takes you hours
yeah,
sometimes to get it together. And was that really, fair to me for my time
right.
to do it? So I've been trying to rethink and try to come up with something that's a little bit more, like I said, that puts a little bit more money in my pocket. But
Here's,
then also, like I said, I know what the other reason is, because
you
if
want
it
to be
wasn't
fair.
if it wasn't like an exclusive, like they didn't want me to sell it,
Yeah.
then I felt like I shouldn't charge them anything more for it than what somebody else would pay for it.
Yes and no. Like, you know what I mean? So I ran myself circles on that ideal as well. So when all right, so I play this marketing game with my Etsy. Everything on there is double priced.
And then you put everything on sale.
Then I put everything 50% off, right? So I'm getting what I want, but the customer, in their mind, they think that, oh, this was $25. He got it on sale right now for $12.50. Let me
I
get
better
it right
go
now.
get it.
Yeah, let me get it right now. And in their minds, they're getting a discount. But on my end, that's what I wanted. I wanted $12.50 anyway. I just came up with a creative way to get you to pay the $12.50
Right.
urgently without thinking. So every month, my everything is gonna always be 50% off. Like, you know what I mean? But that's to get anybody who's first laying eyes on my product for day one. They're like, let me get it now before it's no longer on sale. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Without knowing that it's never gonna not be on sale. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one day I might fool people.
Do you ever, I was getting ready to say, do you ever, like, at one time, like, just let things, like, let the sale come off, so that if people who are watching you, right? Because you know what people will do, right? They'll put stuff in their cart,
Yeah.
and they're hoping that you have a coupon out there that says, oh, you left something in your cart, come back, you can get it at 60% off, because I do that with my Etsy shop as well.
So what I do is sometimes I forget. Sometimes, like, the sale was supposed to ran my Black History sale was supposed to run to the 9th. It didn't dawn on me that sale was over until the 12th. Because of course I'm looking at my Etsy day in, day out, like, dang, I ain't getting no sales yesterday. I ain't getting no sales today. Like, oh, I forgot. Let me go in there, you know what I'm saying, and change my my sale deal. And once I get to a level where I feel like, yeah, let me turn it off for a week and have people panic, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then come back and there's no sales, and people are like, okay, we don't know what was going on last week, like, you know what I mean, but let's get them now. And then I see those numbers generate with no sales, then I might not run a sale for months, like, you know what I mean, and then surprise people with a sale, and then they'll be wondering when the next sale is. That's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But what I figured out with me was, once I played that mind game with people, my numbers stayed fluctuating. They stayed consistent, should I say. Like, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I was seeing sales every day. I was seeing, like, I was like, okay, that 50% off thing is working. Like, you know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
I just went in there and was like, I want $7.50 for it anyway. I'm gonna change the price to $15, like, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna
Mhm.
put 50% off, like, you know what I mean? Which makes
Right.
people say, what? Let me get it now. And I mean, I'm not doing anything no different than Walmart or Kroger's
Oh
or
yeah,
yeah.
exactly, exactly. Well, have you ever thought about, since you, like I said, since you have a group or you have a following, because I've been toying around with this idea in my head. I haven't done anything about it yet, but like reward, excuse me, rewarding the people who are in your group with a discount that's deeper than what you would sell to someone that just happened to come across your site.
That's a
Like
good
there'd be
idea.
a group code that you would create just for your group members to use.
That's a good idea. And I'm gonna use that because I always pick the percentage part. I always pick the percentage part when you actually have the option where you can create a promo code. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I think I may just do that. But then here's the thing though.
People might share it.
Yeah.
That is always the possibility that
But
somebody might would share it. And so that's why I was kind of thinking like, okay, what if you did something like, say for instance, for your group members, you created a group code that was I don't know, they say 55%, right?
right.
So they're gonna save just a little bit more, not by much, than what anybody else would come in because you always run this 50% off sale, right?
Oh, I got
So
it.
that
I
if
got it.
they actually then, told their friend about it, be like, oh yeah, go out to Xcellent Dreamz and use my code. Well, okay, what did you really lose? You didn't really lose a whole lot, but you gained
A new customer.
a new customer. And every so often you could go in there and you could change the group code to something else if you thought that there might be some abuse.
Yeah,
You just change it, right? You say, okay, I'm going to change the code to something else.
I got it. Uh, um, see, actually do it like this to where the code is hidden. The code is hidden
In
in
a group in a
in a group
post.
post. In a post. The code is hidden in a group post. So you got to
And
be
if
a
you
group
want,
member, like, you know what I mean?
65% off, you're gonna have to go find that post.
Yeah,
And then what it does is it keeps people engaged in your
engage.
post because now they got to go looking at stuff. They got to see new designs that you might have done that they might not have seen otherwise.
That's
You know,
brilliant. That's
oh,
brilliant.
I'm the one you want to talk to when you want about business because my mind is constantly moving, going in 20 different directions all the time. You know, and you also create this sense of loyalty, right?
Yes,
If you're loyal to me, then I can be loyal to you.
yes.
And I would be willing to give this to you, my loyal fan base. Here's a few extra you're gonna save more than anybody else that's gonna come in and buy from me because you've been loyal to me.
Yeah,
Um, so, like I said, just ways to again create engagement, create a need and a want for your product. You know, it might be such that somebody might say, well, you know what, I really don't know that I'd like, but you know what, I I appreciate. I just go buy the design because it's only gonna cost me $5 anyway, or
yeah.
something like that. You know what I'm saying? And that would be money that you wouldn't otherwise get because they might not wouldn't buy it otherwise. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Or you could run special. You could have like just like holidays. You could have Rhinestones on us holiday today, right?
Yeah,
Be like for this week we're gonna have 55% off. It's only gonna run for a week. It's in one of these posts. If you've seen something that you want, go find it. You're gonna save, and then
right.
you go right back to the other one. But it would create. I think it would, like I said, people wouldn't know. They wouldn't know what to expect, but they would know that they would. Hey, let me go back out and see what Ray got going on this week.
Right, right. Let me
You know,
let, let me let me check all the posts because it might not be in my post. Like, you know what I mean?
It could be in Andrea's post.
Yeah, I might reach out to you and be like, put this code creatively in your post. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I see how, Andrea goes out there and she, she be pumping you up, right? She's like, hey, you can go do this, go out, Xcellent Dreamz, page, blah, blah. And then, like I said, one day she could be doing one of her lives, right? Where she's showing people how she's doing her stuff. And she might put in a thing and say, you know what, hey, for all you people out here watching my live today, go out to Xcellent Dreamz, save 75%.
Listen.
Then you would know, you would be able to track who's paying attention and who's doing what, because they wouldn't have known it otherwise if they hadn't gone to her live.
Right. Listen, I met the lovely Andrea at a time in my life where I didn't have a support system. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't have it was me and my girl, you know what I mean? And that was it. Like, you know what I mean? I was probably online wanting, needing, and reaching out, looking and searching for that support, like, you know what I mean? And God sent her to me, like, you know what I mean? So I appreciate her tenfold on days where I'm down and out, like, you know what I mean? And she may not even know I'm down and out. She comes along at the right time with the words of, come on, stick in the array. We need you, my brother. And I appreciate her tenfold. Like, you know what I mean? She's in that same pocket, like, you know what I mean? Of my girl, but she's not my girl. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I wasn't there that night.
Right.
Yes, we got to share the love. And, like I said, you just never know, we never know who's going to be in our corner. That's why we never need to be too quick to jump on a person until you kind of understand like who they are. Like, you may have now, because you've questioned me twice, like on posts that I have done, like, well, Tonya, they said they asked for a transfer. Why you go back and explain what a transfer is, right? Like,
yeah.
And that comes from me working for a law firm for 24 years, right? I need to know exactly what it is that you're talking about, because so many people transpose. They don't. That's why when you put the post out there, what's a transfer?
Yeah.
What's the template? What's the thing? I was like, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Because some people call a transfer a template. Some people call a template a transfer. Some people don't. I mean, they don't know, because
they don't.
And so that's why I'm like, before I go responding to say that I can do XYZ, I need to know exactly what your XYZ is.
Yeah.
So let me tell you what I think it is. And if you confer, then we can talk. And if not, then I can't do it,
Right.
Because I don't do that. But yeah, I'm just one of those kind of people that, I'm very wordy, as you can tell. I like to talk, but I try to be, I'm trying to gather information from people, and I'm trying, and so I will overthink sometimes some things, and I will probably ask more than I should, but
that's
it's
good.
only because I'm looking for clarity.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Like I said, for no other reason, and then I think about it, because I'm like, well, I guess I could have worded it a little bit differently or whatever, but then that's just who I am.
That's just us. That's just us in a nutshell. And I don't want people to be anything other than themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
I tell people every day, all day, like, I'm divorced. I'm on my second life. Like, I mean, I speak what's on my mind at the time it comes to my mind. Never in a disrespectful way, but in I don't want to regret myself for not saying it when it was right there, and then I forget it, and then I'm like, I missed whatever opportunity. I don't want to miss the opportunity. If it's running through my mind, and my mind tells my mouth to say it, I'm saying it. And I got to deal with whatever consequences or repercussions.
Watch out and duck for cover, because it's coming.
Yeah. But it's never to beat someone down or to take away from what anybody has to say. Is to elaborate or to concur with them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I agree. You know what I'm saying? But here's my opinion. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. So can I ask you a question?
Talk to me.
Do you have like a graphic background per se? Because I'm like, I'm seeing you develop like this brand, right? I'm assuming that, Diamond Club, is a brand that you have cultivated or not? No.
It's a club.
Huh?
It's a
It's a
club.
club? It's a real club.
It's a diamond club. It's more than just a brand. It's a
So
club.
Okay. Oh.
Get it? Like, so it's a brand, but once you buy a piece of Diamond Club, now you're a member of the club.
Oh. And anybody can be a member of a club. Is it, you know, is not gender based, like it's not just for men. Is anybody can be a member of Diamond Club?
It's more than just a brand. It's a club. So like
Right.
once you buy your first item, right? A Diamond Club, now you're an official member of the Diamond Club. So if we host a Diamond Club party, like I'm saying, you're a member. You're like, hey, I'm a Diamond Club member. Let me go to this party. Then that
Okay.
night it may be like Diamond Club at such and such and such venue. Anybody that with Diamond Club apparel on gets in free. Like you know what I'm saying? So now you feel part of, it's almost like a biker club without all of the biker stuff. But now you're
Mm-hmm.
part of this unofficial, official club that's worldwide. Like you know what I mean? And say I say Diamond Club reunion 2025 in Atlanta, like you know what I mean? You gonna show up with your Diamond Club gear on and feel a part of the club versus, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
there go one of my members right there. You don't even know that person, but they got on Diamond Club. You got on Diamond Club. Y'all understand that it's more than just a brand. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's going on? Girl, you gonna be at the what's the name of the night? Yeah, girl, I'm gonna be there. And y'all don't even know each other. It's a
Right.
sense of being part of something, no matter how far away we are. Like you know what I'm saying?
So you created you've merged the sorority and the fraternity and created one unisex club for everybody to be a part of
Via apparel. Yep.
via apparel.
But that's what we did when we went. That's what we did when we went to school without even knowing it. Like you know what I mean? You gravitated to the people who had polo on, and you was like, well, "I'm gonna get me a polo too." Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was the bubble coat clique. Like you know what I'm saying? It was the
Yeah.
leather jacket clique. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it was
Yep.
the chicks who had the balls on their socks in different colors. Like you know what I mean? You had the
Mm-hmm.
girls who wore the jellies, and everybody in their clique had the jellies. Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right. Right.
so I
You said
grew up in
jelly.
those type of social environments to the point to where when I looked at it, I was like, man, everybody want a polo shirt, man. Everybody want to wear Jordans. Like, I want to get it to the point to where people feel like, oh, I want to be a member. Like, all I gotta do to be a member of this club is to get a piece of a shirt. Well, I'm gonna get 10 of them. Like, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be an exclusive member. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So
Yeah.
is the bear the focal point, or are the suit cards the focal? Like I'm trying to figure
I,
out like
uh,
which one is it?
I like it. So, um, the focal point is
Okay. Diamond Club.
that's what it
Okay.
says. That all you gotta do is look at it. All you gotta do is look at it, and it says.
Diamond Club. Okay, duh. I didn't even like, you know
Wait a
what?
minute. No,
That
no,
went right
no,
over my
no,
head.
no, no. Hear me out. So this is the logo. It may look like this, or it may look like when you see it, it's just going to say Diamond Club. I've done a few different ones, but when you see it,
Mm-hmm.
it automatically going to say Diamond Club.
Right.
The the elements that make up the brand are the teddy bear, the lightning bolts, the happy skull,
Mm-hmm.
palm trees, high-rise buildings, and and nature, like birds and stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So in most of my designs, I'll have at least 3 of them. So I'll
Three
have,
of those elements will be in the design.
yeah. So it'd be the teddy bear with the luxury car with the high-rise buildings,
Mm-hmm.
or to be the teddy bear with the palm trees with the lightning bolt. Like, you know what I mean? Or to be just I try to keep it around those, because those are my elements that when you see a Diamond Club shirt, you're gonna be like, yeah, I can tell that's Diamond Club. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Got the elements. Like, so for you to visually see that, I'm onto a right track. Like, you know what I mean? I want people, I don't want them to necessarily, like, when we saw FUBU, all we saw was the FUBU, like, you know what I mean? And then we automatically knew, oh, that's for us, by us. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I want people to see that teddy bear with that car and that palm tree and that, oh, that's Diamond Club. And then they
without even seeing the diamond or the club, right?
yeah, without seeing the diamond of the club, they'll be like, not even knowing that that's that's next month's colorway or whatever. They're gonna look at, that's got to be Diamond Club. The same way when people see Tommy Hilfiger, like, you know what I mean, they like, oh, that red, that blue, and that white. Oh yeah, that's, you know what I mean. And it don't matter if it's in the H. It could be red, blue, and white stripes. Like, you know what I mean, just the way that it stands out. We know, like, you know what I mean, the 3 colors for BMW. Like, you know what I'm saying, like I've never owned one, but they're on the side of the higher end BMWs. They got them 3 stripes.
Right. Okay.
Hey, listen, y'all. Every time I host a class, y'all can see the energy in within me. Like, this is what I was destined to do. I should have. No, I shouldn't have. Everything happens for a reason. But I'm like, I should have been doing this 10 years ago when I first got started. But how could I when I didn't know nothing?
No,
You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there. There's this one guy. I'm not about to put a name on it. He took one class of mine, and then 2 days later, he was online like, I got rhinestone training classes, y'all. And I was like,
what?
To each his own. It's levels,
Hey.
it's levels to this, right? Like, you know what I mean? And you gotta start somewhere. Like, you feel me? I want him to continue. Like, I want him to grow into a great trainer. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm never going to, if who am I to say, as a swimming instructor, I just taught that person yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And 2 days later, now they're out teaching other people. Well, you go, girl. You feel what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah. But trust me, you ain't got to worry about that on this end, because I ain't gonna be able to teach nobody nothing. I won't be able to tell them this. Look, hold control to keep the stone on its axis, because that's about the only thing I wrote down.
No, but think about it though. Like, think about if you taught somebody how to braid, you taught your daughter how to braid, right?
Right.
2 days later, she's out there teaching other people. You're gonna be like, man, she got the motivation and she got the drive. Like, don't let me stop her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. I mean, I definitely am, more willing to open up my other laptop and, pull in a graphic of some sort, because that's where all my designs sometimes start, is seeing something on Google or whatever, some piece of clip art or whatever, and like, okay, can I take that piece of clip art and turn it into a rhinestone design, and then add something to it? So now I've got my marching orders, right? I mean, yeah, I've only had one class. We touched on I know the very little basics, but you talked about the 3 things you got to do after you do something. You got to island fill, clear the path, and merge the overlapping stones. And I think if I can continue to remember that, the rest of it will come from, just like you said, playing around in the software and figuring out, what you do, because really the size of the design is going to dictate your rhinestone, right? I mean, it's got to be a certain size before you can do anything with it anyway. So as long as you got it in that particular size, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
The only other thing I might want to ask, if you have time, can you show us how you go in and do the mock-up of a like once you like, can you do a design real quick, like finish the Mickey real quick,
Yeah.
and then put it on a t-shirt?
Yeah. Oh,
We want to let
that's
Ray
like,
run away.
huh?
Got to do the AI part. Hold up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, the AI
Oh
part. That's
yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We'll use the AI part to do the mock-up.
I got one
Yes,
question for beginners. When we talk about vinyl and we
Yeah.
talk about rhinestones, because of course with sublimation, that's a whole different thing because the rhinestone is sitting on top of that the fabric. When we talk about vinyl and we talk about rhinestones, how if you don't have that recipe, I don't care what you do, it's not going to work. So if it's not the correct time, pressure, heat, nor placement, it's not going to work. But how is that with sitting vinyl on top of with the fabric and the rhinestone? How does that work? Because somebody made a comment that the rhinestones may fall off.
The rhinestones will fall off. Like
Now
Yeah.
I've done vinyl
yeah.
with rhinestones on top,
Yeah, me too.
and I have not had any issues.
What kind of vinyl was it?
Well, okay. I use I'm an eco solvent printer girl, so I use Caesar's color print vinyl. It's not the like it's made for like a rolling printer, right?
Yeah.
And I run it through my converted Epson with eco solvent ink.
Okay.
And so I can print full color vinyl designs, and I have used rhinestones on top of that vinyl with no issues.
Even
Now
to the wash.
I've never tried it with heat transfer vinyl,
Okay.
like regular HTV,
Yeah.
but I haven't had any issues with my eco solvent with my with that printable vinyl. I haven't had any issues.
Right. And you're using Hotfix rhinestones on top of it.
With
Yeah.
a heat, now I use like I said, I have an HTV Ronc heat press with several layers of pillows in them to give it more pressure.
Yeah.
And I typically, I know they say you're not supposed to do this, but I press my stones 20 seconds each time. And as you can see, some of my designs have multiple layers.
Yeah.
So I'm sometimes pressing my stones 4 or 5 times
Right.
at 20-second intervals.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
But dumb stones ain't going nowhere.
They ain't going nowhere. Right. Most
when
definitely.
I finish.
So to answer your question, yes and no. Because when I very first got started and I did it, I made a shirt for my sister, and the next day she was complaining because her stones had fell off. Like, you know what I mean? I have some that I've done for myself, just trial and error. And I think what people fail to realize is when pressing rhinestones on top of vinyl, you're right. It needs pressure and it needs heat. Like, you know what I mean? Those two together will allow them to stick. You're not about to get the rhinestones to stick you at 305 or 315 and you pressing for 10 to 15 seconds like it was vinyl. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
The rhinestones that I've gotten to stay and are still stayed on to this day were ones that I pressed at 325, maybe 350, and it was 30 seconds or more.
Yep. I usually press at 330 degrees for 20 seconds. But like I said, I'm usually doing multiple presses. And then even after I finish and got the whole design laid in, I go back with the Teflon paper one more time and press it and press one final time. And the other thing that's key that I don't think that some people understand too is that you got to let the stones cool.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to let them cool in between your presses. If you just continue to keep pressing them, all you're going to do is just keep activating the glue. And then that glue is going to thin and spread out and it's going to seep out from underneath those stones. But if you press them and then you let it sit there for about a couple of minutes before you even pull the transfer tape off,
yeah,
that glue will have really,
dried in here.
Yes, it'll adhere much better if you let it cool first before you press it a second time.
Talk to me.
I had a good joke. when I did the GS2D and you were like, what are you doing? I had just seen this lady's live, and look, let me tell you something. Stop watching these people YouTube, because what are they doing? But anyway, I watched this lady's live straight up, and she was like, do $2.95 for like just 10 seconds. That's all you need. So I said, let me try that. I tried it all right. My girls were walking around the house. I have twin daughters, they are 8. My girls were walking around the house. Mama, here go one of your stones. I said, what's that? Oh, okay, thank you. Mama, here go one of your stones. I said, oh, okay, thank you. By the end of the night,
all your stones was on the floor.
We full of stones. As a matter of fact, I ain't playing. Hold up.
I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Oh, but you see me running my shirt.
Yeah.
Them stones ain't going nowhere. And I will tell you too, quality stones, right? You can't, some manufacturers adhesives don't stick. Like if you take them out of your, whatever they're on, and you already got a flat back,
yeah,
the adhesive has come off, that already tells you that the process that they used in order to put the adhesive on the back of the stone is not going to last, because it didn't even stay on the back of the stone and you hadn't even applied any heat yet.
Right. Yep.
So quality stones do matter.
Yes, they do.
And not everybody sells quality stones.
No, they don't.
Funny. The stones are a good brand, and they are a nice quality, but I laughed myself to sleep when I tell you, I said, man, you know better than that. I said, that recipe was wrong, because I'm all about math. I'm all about the science. I said, that recipe was wrong.
Right.
So I don't know what that lady was kicking the people on YouTube and that kind of thing, and how many weeks that thing been going viral, but it's wrong.
Yeah.
So that right there was a lesson learned in itself, where if it is not the correct pressure, time, and temp, at the end of the day, it's going to be the wrong recipe for that cake. It's not going to taste good. It's not going to be fluffy, and it's not going to be what you want to sell to anybody.
Exactly. So
testing is the key. And I'm just testing flock and different things like that right now. So,
oh Lord,
I bought this leather jacket. Y'all probably seen it, and I should have did a video on it, but I was rushing trying to get it completed. I did a leather jacket, the Raiders jacket that I did for a guy about a few months ago. That was vegan leather. I pressed the stones on 350, 30 seconds on at a time, and you can pop a stone off like this. Boop, 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 boop.
Ooh, not good.
I charged him $195 for that jacket. He came back and was like, bruh, the stone's falling off. I'm so mortified, because never have stones falling off. Like, I mean, so he like, can you fix it? Can you fix it? What I did was, lesson in the future, get you some. I just had some. I just had a piece right here. This, my friend, is flock. The color flock.
Oh, that regular flock like you use for like HTV flock?
Regular flock.
Looks black.
Color.
It comes in all colors.
It comes in all colors. When you need color up under rhinestones and you can't use a polyester shirt, flock up under stones works wonders. So I scrubbed all the stones off of his coat. I cut out the object that the stones were going to be laying on top, and I pressed this on the jacket first. Them stones ain't going nowhere. You hear me? Nowhere. So I thought I was on to something, pressing stones onto vegan leather, because it gave it that look of Pelly Pale.
Right.
Yeah, you need to I was back to the drawing board with that one. You know what I mean?
So you created like an outline. So you created like an offset for whatever the stones were going to sit on with the flock.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When that flock right there, you do it just like you do everything else with heat transfer. You flip that thing over, you reverse the image or what have you, and you
Yeah,
went ahead and out. Same thing.
same thing. So
Yeah.
this flock, it works wonders. And I only came up with the idea because I like color under stones. For
Right.
all eternity, I was not able to put color under stones for that main reason of not pressing stones on top of vinyl. But now you can, because you can just use the flock vinyl.
Got it.
All right, let's jump in the Bing here.
You're gonna be done made me try something else tonight.
See, look, Ray is a special type of person. He's a genius ahead of his time. I sent Ray a message today. I say, I buy his templates. I buy whatever software he tell me to get. I watch his videos long before I even have the equipment, long before I have the software, long before I have a stone or a piece of vinyl, or in this case, flock. And he knows flock because he's seen it with the cardboard. But it's all about trusting the method. If
Right.
and you trust the method and apply the tools, when you get the stuff, it's gonna flow like butter.
Yeah.
Because it's the correct recipe. I'm all about that. So
right.
It's a reason for everything. Miss Tonya, I'm so great to meet you as well.
Yes.
I see that you have great information. You've had years in the game as well. And your success, I'm beginning
I'm
to
new.
No.
I am. I mean, Ray said he's been doing this for 10 years, right? I am a year about, let me see. I started not last year, my birthday. My birthday is in November. The year before that. So I don't even have 2 years under my belt yet with creating, you know, templates and such. And like I said, I'm just, a lot of stuff comes to me intuitively. Like I'm a thinker in some ways, right? I think I know what's necessary in order to make this thing do that thing. And so if I make it do this, then it should do that when I click this button, right? Yeah. And that's basically how I attack each of my rhinestone projects, to say, okay, this is what I want. I know if I do this, this, and this should happen. And I'm learning that turn the effect, at least in Silhouette, turn the rhinestone effects panel on and work so that you can see the stones emerge as you're creating the project. Yeah. Rather than starting, like you have your vector image, right? But your vector image stays in its native format until you release the stones in Silhouette. Oh, so as long as you release the stones, that's what it's called, release the stones. As long as you don't release the stones, you can manipulate that object to whatever size you want and do whatever you want till you get it to the way you want it. And then once you get it where you want it, boom, then you can release the stones and you got a finished template that's ready to go. You know, maybe you have some cleanup you have to do. Is always cleanup, right? It's never done. But you're, like you say, you're like 85, 89% of the way there when you get to that point.
Right. See, that's your post. I always see you say, hey, I'm learning, we're learning, come learn with me. But that's the thing with Ray. He says, if you don't try, how will you know?
That's exactly right.
You have to come away from being afraid of the stones, afraid of the methods. You got to try it. And if it don't work, try something else.
That's right. Or do it again. If it don't work, do it again. You haven't done it. You haven't messed up anything. You know, it's like sometimes when I see people, and I know sometimes I get anal, like I'm anal, like things got to be right when I'm finished with them, right? And sometimes it irks me to no living end. And if I know this doesn't, like if it applies to you, please don't take it personally. But, you know, when I see folk who, like, you know, sometimes they could say, oh, I'm a newbie or whatever. And I did my first rhinestone project. And I get sometimes, you know, the stones don't line up the way they're supposed to because you done tried to layer in 3 different layers. And that can be difficult. But my thing is, them stones don't make you, right? You rule the stone. Right. You put it down on your shirt and that stone is crooked. Fix it before you put the heat on it, because you can fix anything before you add heat. You can fix it after. You gotta take that whole thing up and scrape all them stones off and go back to your template, restone it and reapply it. But don't ever waste your product, nor don't waste your stones nor your t-shirt
Right.
by doing it crooked when you don't have to.
Right. You can fix it though, even after you pressed it. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, with what, VLR? I mean, I've used
No,
VLR.
no,
Reverse.
no. Here's the trick. You press it for 2-3 seconds. Like that 2-3 seconds, you just heated that stone up, it'll pop right off of there.
True. Okay, so like vinyl, you can reverse turn it on the back side of it, add a little heat, and then pull up when you forgot to weed something or what have you. I use sometimes VLR.
Yeah.
To remove when I got a big thing that I've done and I need but sometimes you put them stones on there and they like cement. You go to pull them off and you put a hole in your stuff.
You put a hole in your shirt, or you're gonna leave the black dot from the residue down there.
Exactly.
That part. So
yeah,
I get it. Fix it before you press it in. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, everything is fixable before you add the heat. So I mean, if it's crooked, take your thumbnail and push it into place, or take a tool and move it. I mean, there's no need. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I've had stones that have come out crooked or whatever, even after calf replacement. But I'm talking about sometimes some folk, like they just, I mean, no, you didn't need to do that. You did not need to do that.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. Sometimes it be anxiousness. It's the anxiousness of seeing it complete to the point to where you get so anxious to see it complete that you mess up the finished product. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, like I said, and Andrea know, and I know, rhinestones ain't cheap. And once you mess them up, that's it. You can't reuse them again.
Right.
So don't be like I said, don't be throwing your product in the trash. Because I have been known, I've taken a whole garment, 3,200 stones, and put vinyl on the back of it, and the vinyl I forgot to weed something. I used VLR, it smeared the vinyl or whatever. I threw the whole shirt in the trash.
Yeah.
That was a sweatshirt plus 3,200 rhinestones.
Right.
But that's just like I said, that's just me. I'm anal that way.
No, but you learned not to do it no more.
You got that right.
All right, let's jump in.
Mockup. We talk about mockups.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go to straight to Bing. And a lot of people don't realize this when they go to Bing, but when you go to Copilot, right here in the middle, you see it says choose a conversation style. If you leave it on more balanced, she's not gonna be creative for you. If you leave it on more precise, she's not gonna be creative for you. You have to click on more creative. That more creative is going to give you that creativity that you're looking for when using Bing to create your images. Also, me personally, I like to start with what I'm using already, and that is, please create me a vector graphic line art. I start most of mine off using this. Please create me a vector graphic line art of a, we gonna put girly. Oh no, I'm gonna leave it as girly. Girly teddy bear wearing a
Rhinestone tracksuit.
A rhinestone bodysuit.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't want her looking like no man. Like, she gotta be in a bodysuit with what they call it? What is it? Thigh high.
Oh Lord, am I? Y'all let your youth show here, okay? With thigh high boots.
Thigh high boots. And the body suit says Diamond Club in Rhinestones. She's standing next to a fancy what's that horse and carriage while overlooking Cincinnati, Ohio. Downtown. We're gonna say that I'm gonna just leave it like that. While overlooking Cincinnati, Ohio.
So this is where the magic comes in, huh, Ray?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as he said bodysuit, you knew it was gonna be magical.
Boom. Let's see here. Come on. I put bodysuit because I've tried all the other ones, like, and they just make her look like she's just on the block selling. Like, you know what I mean? I can't explain it. Like, you know what I mean? They make it look like she thugged out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like so with the bodysuit, I'm like, maybe that's gonna give her some class. But they didn't give me a vector graphic line art. Please create me a vector graphic line art. Oh, look. All right, so they got co-pilot, then they got designer. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
they keep
designer
changing
next.
these AI. But I use Chat GPT. Is what I use to create graphics with sometimes. But I've never used it to create a graphic that I would actually try to put rhinestones on.
Right. So let me see here. Let me go
Oh,
back.
look at that.
Yeah, that's nice. I love it. And even like we can turn it into our pixel art and our using our vectors, even though it say pixel art to me using Bing, it turns it into something that's more of a vector. Cartoonish like. Let's see. Yep, see?
Because it gives you those lines.
Yes.
Now that's cute.
Now I would drop this into let's see here. Looks good. We're gonna drop this in. We're gonna use this one here. Boom. Boom. Go to my downloads. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Right click, outline, trace, clip art. Now, still gonna be a little choppy, but it looks great to me. We're gonna see. Let's see if it chops it up. Ah, not bad. That's good. That's
Really?
good.
That looks a hot mess.
What?
I mean,
Let me show you. Let me show you what I see. Watch this. If I click right here on this black, boom, and I select all of the black, and I nudge it off to the side, boom.
oh,
I have my lines like to work with. I'm only using the lines to create stuff like this because now I can smart fill this. I think it's gonna go through there. Okay, all right. It wasn't all the way together. Let me see here. So you want it got to be touching so that it doesn't leak through. Because now I can do this.
like
Boom.
right there in her arm, right there, like right there, that cuff. I'm pointing right there, like bring your cursor, you see, yeah, there's a broken space right there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm only using it for this right here. Because now I can take all of this and I can place and fill and I can hatch fill it. Boom. Glitter pads, merged overlapping stone. Oh. Merged overlapping stones. And now, if I was sublimating that image onto a shirt, it's so much easier to put the stones on like that. Of course, it's covering up all the text. I would have to do a lot more work, but I was able to add stones right there to her little outfit in 2 clicks. Click, place and fill, hatch fill. So this wasn't, you're right, this wasn't the best image to show, but I was able to take that image, pull out all of the cup. What'd you say?
Okay, okay. I'm like I said. So basically, you're gonna keep you would keep the other image to be your sublimated image.
Yes.
You just want to get the detailed parts of it that you want to make the rhinestone path for the image.
Right.
That's all you're concerned about. You're not concerned about the rest of it.
Exactly. So I'm going to take all of this, edit, push it back over there. And now, once I do my sublimation, I got her rhinestone bodysuit already in 2-3 clicks.
So if you wanted to do the boots, if you wanted to rhinestone her boots and her bow,
same thing. I would just click her back over there.
And then probably what I would do, she's got on a bodysuit, right? But I almost would take out the pieces of her leg, right?
Yeah.
Where her leg is, take those rhinestones out and just leave the bodice rhinestone, and then rhinestone her boots and her bow.
Right. That part. Yeah, because yep, the boots and the bow, because if I try to rhinestone the boots and the bodysuit, it's gonna look like it's one whole piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that way it looks like it's just the bodysuit, and then her thighs are, because she's got on thigh-high boots, so you expect part of her thighs to be showing.
Gotcha. I get it. So I would weld that. Boom, boom, boom. And place and fill, hatch fill. Boom, boom, boom. Change them pink. So that's the way that I like to, when I deal with sublimation, I'll copy the sublimation image, I'll drag it over, I'll vectorize it, I'll pull out the parts that I want, and then like I'll snap all of this right back in there. Grab my pink for her shoes, snap that in there. Like, say we was using this image right here, right? I could go in there, click here. We got what's called a smooth. This smooth right here, if I hold right here, you see I just smooth. See, I just smoothed that line up. That line was jagged. Watch this. Let me turn this down. And we got this smooth. Let me turn it down a little bit more. See, I straightened that line straight on up. It was wiggly. Now, sure, I can go through here and do the whole thing like that to where I just smoothing it all the way out.
So that would be helpful if you wanted to turn this image into a SVG, so that you could create the.
It's already SVG.
Right, but I mean, nobody would want to cut that the way that it is now, because it would cut all.
Oh, jagged, yeah.
Right, but now you can you contour everything out, and then you can create the different layers.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean,
just smoothing it on out. Like, I'll do it like this. I play around with this software so much, I'll click right here, grab that smooth again. This time I'll make it bigger. A little more bigger. And watch this. I wanted it actually bigger than that because I wanted to do it all at one time without moving it. Come on. There we go. I'll just hold it down and it is smoothing it out. Even though it did distort it a little bit, like, but it's smoothing everything. Boom.
Wow, this software is amazing.
Smooth. Look how smooth that whole side out. Like, okay. Oh, you don't like it all jagged like that? We're gonna smoothen it on now. And I mean, it is smooth. Look at this. It's just, look at this bed right here. Couple more times. It's just smoothing it out. I love it. It take out a little detail, but I like the smoothing factor overall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. We're going to, I'm going to just take her, all of this, and we're just going to nudge it over just because we want her face in there. Boom. I'm going to get rid of all the rest of this. Boom. Let's add some color to her boots. Boom. Let's make a pink. Cool. Cool beans. Now, right here with nothing selected, boom. It tells us our workspace size is 8.5 by 11. We're going to change that to 13 by 19. How do I keep accidentally hitting the none? 13 by 19. There we go. Now you're going to like this. You're going to love this. I'm just going to go in here and delete out all of this extra stuff. Because when you go to do your mock-up, anything that's floating will get turned into a rhinestone if you leave that option on. So actually, I'm just going to go in here. I want to chop all of this half off. Y'all gonna like this is how I operate. Like instead of double, because if I click on this black, all of this is one piece. If I move it, it's all together. In order to get rid of this half over here, I would have to double click on it and then go in there and start deleting nodes. Or I click on it, go up here with the erase tool, and then go in there and start erasing it like that. Or me, what I like to do, I'll bring in this rectangle here. I'm gonna place the rectangle right here.
And slice it off.
Slice it off. Boom, bang, it's gone. Do it again on the other side. Boom, bang. Slice. Boom. We're just gonna delete this little stuff right here. Boom. So now we got her just by herself, right? We highlight her. We come to mockups. Make sure we got our product. So it's a woman's burnout shirt front. You got the front, the back. You got a dry fit shirt front, back. I like using the scoop neck shirt. Boom. I'm not going to hit simulate stones. Yes, I am. I'm going to hit simulate stones just to show you all of these little pieces. These little pieces that are not welded together. When you click it, it's going to turn everything into rhinestones. Everything. Give it some time because it's a lot.
Right.
Typically, when I do my mock-ups, I do not hit this simulate stones button. Because, look, let me show y'all. Every little bit and piece. Come on.
Oh.
Every little bit and piece got turned into a rhinestone. That's because we didn't weld it together. We didn't merge it together. We did none of that. We just left at, look, every little piece, they added a rhinestone to
We
it.
get it. Nope.
Oh.
Talk about rhinestone work, huh? That shit look hideous.
It's the plus.
Yeah, no, ain't nobody gonna buy that.
All right, so let me delete the mock-up. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight it again. Don't click on simulate stones and just boom, click on the shirt. Not only did it work faster, but now it's ready. And now what I would do is I click on one stone, select them all. Well, click on one, select all of the stones, and then simulate stones here. So
I'll just
now,
simulate the ones you want.
yeah, now it only simulated the ones that I want. Right. So sure enough, y'all already know we could have went in there on the last page and cleaned up this, merged all of that together so it's one pink bowl. I was just trying to show y'all more so the mock-up part and how to do the mock-up without having stones all over the place. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, that leads me to my next question real quick, since we're in the mock-up screen. And I have that little what's it called? The little bling,
Yeah.
the bling thing, like to simulate like bling.
Yeah, right
How
here.
do you make that work?
Oh, you click on it, add
Oh,
bling,
add bling.
and then you come over here and you drop your bling like so. Boom.
Oh.
But then you want to deselect it. Like if you don't deselect it, every time you hit it, boom, it's just gonna drop another one. Boom, just gonna drop another one. Boom, it's gonna drop another one.
Oh, so you have to turn it off.
Turn it off. And what I like to do is I
Can
like
you
to,
resize it?
yep, I
Oh,
like
I
to
see
click
it
on
now.
it and then drag it down like so. Position it. I like to use this size all over the image. So I'll grab it and then I'll just start hitting my space bar to make a copy. But that looks a whole lot better than the big ones. It actually looks like, it's shining. Hitting the space bar and dropping another one, dropping one. Boom. Like so. She looks good even though
Cute.
she's jagged. Like, you know what I mean?
She is cute.
Even though she's jagged edge. Boom.
So when you guys have this, because I've even seen it on the silhouette templates or what have you, how do they know the stone count? So like let's say the pink boots, I guess it's just like word count.
Ooh, you ready? You ready?
Ready?
We
Do
go
you
back
have
to page.
silhouette, Andrea?
No, I don't have any of that stuff, but I
Okay,
can make
because I was gonna tell you how you figure out your stone count in silhouette, but
it. Then I like
This one is easy. We select the whole thing, bing bong, and we just hit this little dot right here.
a little dot. Where'd you go?
Dot right here, up under the T in the Design Wizard Pro. Down here, bottom right hand corner to the right. Yep. Boom. We click on that. And not only do it tell us the stones, but it tells us, come on, come on, come on. Hey, my computer is slow right now. This is all right, here we go. It breaks down the stones, tells you how many of each color, tells you the design size dimensions and the total stones in the design.
Ain't that some bullshiggity right there?
hey, that thing bad. I like that. Bing bong.
Bing bong, right.
Then you just copy paste that, put that in your template, smack it up there on Etsy, and keep it moving.
Yep. What I used to do was I used to grab a pen and I used to write this stuff down. And now I realize that I just take a screenshot of it. I add it to the guide file so that it's all there on one screen for them, and it makes it so much easier for myself.
That's where I get, I mean, I have like, I have to write down every layer, every size, then create the instruction sheet, put all of those things in there with the, I mean, it takes forever.
It does, but we gotta realize after we do it, you only gotta do it once.
Do it one time.
Sell
Yes.
it a million times. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes, I'm all about Kevin O'Leary over here. Money in perpetuity. Do it one time, create money while I'm sleeping. Yes, I get it, but it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
Listen, I wouldn't have knew. I heard it. People say it all the time. I wouldn't have knew that it was possible until it started happening. I wouldn't have knew that, man, they lying about making money and they sleep. Like all of these videos, they lying, man. How it ain't possible until I started making money in my sleep. Like I be wanting to talk to everybody, but everybody ears ain't open. Like, you know what I mean? There's people out there that have them a business, and I be wanting to express or break down or convey the power of what a niche is and for them to understand it. And man, I ain't trying to hear that shit, bro. I'm like, dang. So you telling me you do hair for a living? That's what you do. You do hair for a living. That's all you do. I'm like, did you know you could sell hair? Did you know you could sell hair products? Did you know you could sell shampoo, conditioner, combs, and everything else that goes
people
along
need for their hair? Yeah. Yep.
You got women coming to your house every day or whatever to get their hair done. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can be like, hey, have you tried this new shampoo yet? Like, you know what I mean? And upsell them right in the chair. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, be like, hey, did you like how your hair came out today? Right. Well, these was the products that I use. You want to achieve this when you go home? This is the product you need to buy.
The product I use.
Exactly.
Hey, girl, $25 off of your next hairdo if you bring me a referral in here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like you using your niche and niching it all the way down. Like, you niching the fuck out of your niche. If that's right. If I can say it like that, you niching, that's what you got to do. Like, you know what I mean? I was talking to my niece. I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to let you to continue to do hair without learning about how to sell hair. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I say, niece, you know, there's people out here with whole warehouses, whole stores, and all they do is sell hair. Like, you know what I mean? The same thing that you do hair. Like I say, don't let people come over here with their own bundles. Like, tell them you got that bundle at your house. Like, you know what I mean? Make exactly. That they paying $175 for the bundle and paying you $65 to install it. Don't you want that $175 too?
Or don't you want the profit that you make off of that $175? I mean, you still got to buy the hair, but still, like I said, you letting them go spend money elsewhere when they can come spend that same money with you.
Mm-hmm. That's what happened to me. I started making shirts. I do shirts. What the hell? Hold on, somebody's outside just dancing on their horn. Like, who is this? Hold on, let me check my messages. Hold on. Okay. All right, that can't be for me. All right. Okay. My bad, ladies. It was just too much activity going on out there. I can't say we're in a, if you don't know the area, it looks nice. Like, I mean, we got a nice park across the street, like, you know what I mean? And you know, the view from looking outside, it's like, okay, that's nice. Like, you know what I mean? But it go it's we in the hood. Like, I mean, we're in the hood. And there's lady boys that sell their stuff out there. Like, you know what I mean?
You said lady boys.
Repeat it.
That's the I mean, that's the terminology, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're men
Transformers.
that dress like ladies, and they sell out there. So it's a lot of traffic that goes on. Like, you know what I mean? And the police sit right around the corner and don't do nothing. Like, you know what I mean? But outside of that, it's pretty nice. You know what I mean? It's a nice neighborhood, nice community, nice environment. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but given the laws and the policies of 2020, 2021, 2, 3, and 4, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, they running rampant. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But hey, to each his own, to each his own. But I heard a lot of commotion going on outside, and I just had to look up at the cameras, and I seen 2 young African American men walking down the street, and I'm like, whatever goes on out there, let it stay out there, please.
Exactly. So let me ask you, did you rhinestone that jacket, or did you buy that jacket that way? Is that a Fendi jacket, or did you add the Fendi?
All right, so the sleeves were like this. I seen it,
Oh.
and the sleeves were like this, but not the back.
You for the back, Ray, and you are well.
Okay.
So that's all that it had on it was that Greek key design down the sleeves.
Okay.
And I took and redid a Greek key design, like took the Versace head, added 2 middle fingers, so removed the hands of stuff that was there already, and did a FU.
I see.
That this is a head turner because I got the pants to go to it too.
Yeah, and nobody else has got that. No, I mean, that's one of a kind right there.
Nobody else. They got the black with the gold because this is actually Rebel Minds.
Oh, okay.
So like Rebel Minds, I got like track suits up under here. Like sometimes I'll find something on a good deal. I got like 6 to 7 pair of track suits right here up under my desk that I'm working on. So Rebel Minds is a good brand. I love them. When I seen this whole fit was probably, the pants was 29 and the jacket was 39. So what, 60, 65 bucks? And when I walk down the street, I look like $2,000. Because at nighttime, when the light hit it, you can't turn them off.
Mm-hmm.
I got a video of me in this. I'm like, oh yeah, I felt like $1 million. So what happened was I got it in black, blue, and yellow at $60. Well, 2-piece velour. I had to. My girl got, and she only got it in one color. She ain't like the other 2 colors.
So did you put that same design on the back of each of them, or no?
No,
Oh, okay.
only on the back of this one. The other ones are works in progress because it's blue. The other one is blue, like a navy blue with the gold stones, and I'm like, I ain't even found shoes to match yet. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
The other one is this color.
You might want to put that bear with the dinner jacket and do something real snazzy with that other one.
I bought it just because they had it on sale, but it's really like a banana color, like, you know what I mean, tracksuit. Like with the stones, with clear stones going down the side. So I got it in my closet. What I do is I'll buy stuff and it'll sit in my closet with the tags on it until one day something hit me. Either I see it and be like, I know what I'm gonna make for that, or I might be out and about shopping and I see the perfect coordinating piece. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do with that now. It might be I'm out and about and I see a shirt and I'm like, I know what I'm gonna put on that shirt to go with that tracksuit.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm at a standstill. This was the only one I've decorated, and the other ones are like they just waiting in limbo. Like, Ray, please put something on me. I don't buy nothing without thinking like I'm gonna put some. The only thing I buy plain is jeans. I don't buy nothing else. Like everything else, if I bought it, I had a thought in mind to customize it. I buy white beaters and socks and drawers, but when it comes to clothing, I ain't bought a shirt, jacket, a hoodie without design in mind in 10 years. It's been 10 years.
So is the shirt that you have on now, is that something that you made?
Yeah.
The whole thing? Like, I mean, I'm just wondering whether or not, oh, okay.
So it came with the smoky gray look. It came like that. So it's like that front and back.
Okay.
But it was 100% polyester, which made me be able to sublimate his picture on it.
Okay.
The only thing else I did, that's it. I didn't do no vinyl or nothing. That's just sublimation and rhinestones.
That is so adventurous because it's like it's almost camouflage, either gray and white, or either like a brownish and white. Like it's really cool. And then you put it on top of it. Like that's like really epic because it almost looked like DTF from afar. That's how vibrant.
Yeah, it makes it look like, whoa, if you know clothing and you know the different ways to put stuff on a garment, it makes you scratch your head like, wait a minute, what is that? Like,
I saw it. Look, I didn't even comment when I seen it. I said, I don't know what this is, but this is it.
Yeah. I've only done this one. And I didn't even document the process or whatever. I wasn't even sure how it was gonna turn out. Like, I mean, like, so sometimes I don't put the camera on because I'll be like, I'm in trial and error mode, and I don't want them to see me in error mode. Like, you know what I'm saying? So but it came out so great. And I was going around the house looking for something to wear today, and I seen it, and I was like, that's it. Then I seen the jacket, and I was like, babe, should I put the whole tracksuit on? And she was like, no, that's gonna be too much. So I just put on some regular black biker jeans, and I felt like I was styling today. You know what I'm saying? That's how.
You look good, and it's okay for this 50-something-year-old woman to say so, you know. But like I said, I really have appreciated the time that you have spent today. I think that, you know, like I said, you are just, like I said, beyond your years. And I just feel like there's so many good things that are going to happen for you. Like I said, if you can just, like I said, just stay the course.
Stay the course.
Stay the course.
That's my goal at the end of the day, because I know I look young. I'll be 44 in August. Like,
Wow.
and my feet be feeting. When I say my feet be feeting, like we'll be out and about somewhere, and at 43, I'm like, hold on, I gotta rest. Like, I mean, like, cause they be like, I don't know. Like, I did from 17 to 31, I worked in the banking industry, which means I had to wear
all the time.
dress socks and dress shoes. And by the end of the day, after having dress socks on and dress shoes on all day, my feet would be wet. I'm talking about sliding around in these silky socks, like, you know what I'm saying, which in turn caused blisters, like, you know what I mean, and then those blisters turned into calluses, like, you know what I mean. So I'm on my feet a good 3, maybe 4 hours max before I'm like, y'all go ahead, go without me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
All right, well then I can't ask you to come with me to Vegas because I'm gonna be doing a lot of walking when I go to Vegas next month.
Hey, my girl will go. I will get one of those wheelchairs, like, you know what I mean? Like, and if it ain't electric, y'all can take turns pushing me, like, you know what I mean?
Oh,
I'm lighter than I look.
that's funny. That's funny. But no, I mean I got a like I said, I got a lot out of today's class, you know. I mean, I know it's just one of those things that I'm just gonna have to, you know, just like I got in and learn how to use Silhouette, I'm gonna have to get in there and just gonna have to learn how to use Corel. But you know, I know that the wizard, the Rhinestone Wizards plugin, that's where it's at, right? Because it's not just for rhinestones.
No.
And the investment is tenfold in what you can do with this software, with their plugin,
Right.
that can take your business over the top, because now you have multiple streams of revenue coming in from so many different places. And for the fact that they have designs, like I said, that they have already created,
Right.
that you can then go in with their software and recreate without, you know, keep the design, just change the font, the lettering, and it just automatically, you know, does what it needs to do.
Yeah.
That is a game changer because it's a time saver. You don't have to recreate the wheel.
That's
All you
what
got to do is
made me
plug in the
purchase the
information.
software. That's what made me purchase the software. When I first saw it, yeah, the rhinestones, it enamored me. Yeah, everything else. But when I seen them use what's called a live template, like,
Yep.
I mean, when I seen them use one of those, I was like, that's it. Like, you know what I mean? And I saved up to go get it because that was game changer. Took me 3 years later to even use my live templates that I had purchased because I was
Right.
so scared, like, you know what I mean, of messing something up, like, you know what I mean, that they sat there. They sat there. I think the first time I tried it, I didn't get it right, like, you know what I mean, so I backed off of it a little bit, and I was like, I ain't buy these templates for nothing. I think they was like $29.99 and $39.99, like, you know what I mean, on top of the $1,200 I had already
spent. Yeah.
Once I started learning how to use them, I think I crutched myself out on them. Like, you know what I mean? Every time somebody called me for a name, I was using that live template because it arches it just right. It arches and bevels it just right. It puts the lines just right. It adds the text and everything.
No matter what your letters, you got 20 letters got to go in there, or you got 5 letters that you got to go in there. It will, it puts it right in there, just
puts it
like
right
it's
in there.
supposed to.
Like,
Yeah. So that's why I say, like I said, I have a lot of money spent with TRW. Lots of templates. I think when I bought the CorelDraw, when I bought this thing, I think I bought it to do the rhinestones, but I wound up, after I went through all of the different things that you could get with your software as part of the package.
yeah.
I think I only wound up getting like one rhinestone package,
template.
and the other stuff, the other 4 pieces was all live templates. Because I saw the potential for doing something baby related stuff. You know, everybody want to do the milestones for the babies, and they want to do the, you know, they want to do their birth weight. I mean, all of that stuff is already there, and all you got to do is just, like I said, just somebody give you the information, plug it in, boom, 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 and you're done.
Yeah.
So I haven't used it yet. Like I said, it's gonna be, you know, I bought it in this when I buy this program at Black Friday, because that's when they usually start their sale. I bought it then. I bought the tutorials in December. I think I looked at one, and that's where I've landed. But I know that now that I have a better sense of how to use the rhinestone piece of it, I may try bringing in a design and seeing whether or not I can use the software, turn it into a template in CorelDraw. And I think once I do that one time, that'll give me the courage just to open it up and start doing some more. And like you say, it may become my new software of choice, and I might put Silhouette to the side.
Listen,
you know,
I play this video game every day. You know how even they got memes out there now, like the grown woman comes home and her husband is in there like in his man cave on that game. Where you at on that game? Like, I mean, this is my game. But I get paid for it. Like, I'm saying? Like
Right.
every day, even if I don't got an order. Well, I can't say it, even if I don't got an order. I got orders every day. Even
Facts.
when I'm not working on an order and I open up CorelDraw, I'm like, I got to do something today. I don't. It's almost like sharpening my sword. Like, I mean, it's like I have to. If I'm a driver, if I'm a transporter, and that's my job, like I can't take a day off. Every day I need to be driving and perfecting my skills. Like, I mean, if I'm a basketball player, I bet you every day that Jordan, even though he's retired, if he's truly a basketball player, he goes downstairs to his in-home gym. I don't care if he shoot the basketball 5 times. Like, I mean, that's something that he has to do every day. Like, I mean,
Yep.
that's me. I'm in that software working on something every day. Except for when we're out of town, my girl don't let me take my laptop with me. Like, I mean, but if she did,
You'd be working on it.
I'll be on the balcony using CorelDraw. You hear me?
I hear you. I hear you. Okay.
Ladies,
All right. So now that we've had one class, does it mean we got unfettered access to Ray all the time? We could just email. We could just, hey Ray, I need help.
You can hit me up. I do got a pretty much an open door policy. Like, but I do not let people steal my time. Like, I mean,
Right.
so if I give you my time, that's something else. I'm not gonna let you steal it. Like, so if somebody's calling me with a question, I may be busy to the point to where I can't answer it right then and there. And I'll let you know, like, I'll get back with you later. I'm doing this or I'm doing that. If not, I'm gonna send you a link. Like, I mean, I'm gonna send you a link that's going to yeah, people might call me because they want to hear me say it or whatever, but the link has all of the information that you just asked me about. Like, you know what I mean? So
right. No, I mean,
yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. And I really was just trying to be funny because I mean, I think that sometimes that's what people think. Is like once you've given them some of your time, it's like you get them all the time, like they in your back pocket.
Right.
And no, I'm not in your back pocket. I'm here to help you if you need help. But my goal is that you're going to take what I've given you and you're going to go out there and find the answer for yourself. Giving you the tools. Now you need to go work with them.
I've
but
had
it is
those
nice
people.
to know.
I've had those people, and that is what taught me how to be able to rely on your links. Like, I mean, be able to say, oh, as bad as I want to help them, I can't right now. I'm too busy doing something else. But I got this link for you.
Right.
Like, I mean, and that's me in a nutshell. I try whenever I think of something and I'm like, ooh, if I can, I don't want to help 10 people the same way. I'm gonna help 3 of them, and by the 4th one, I got a link. Like, I mean, or I got documentation. Like, I mean, like, I'm not about to keep saying this over and over again. Let me put this little thing together real quick. Like, I mean, to help everybody to alleviate like the that little list. The rhinestone transfer versus this. I'm like, hold front door. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to post it. I want to pin it in the group, but I don't want it to stay pinned. But I wanted it somewhere where somebody can easily reference it. Like, somebody asks you a question, I want people to be able to easily grab it and share it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know how to quite
What if you put it in what if you just put it in the file section and just save it as you just save it like a JPEG or whatever, but you name it so that people, when they see it, they know what that is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to I want people to be able to easily be able to find it. Like, I mean, versus going in the pictures and be like, okay, I know that rhinestone image is in here.
But where you put your free file, like you know how you say you can go to the file section in,
Okay.
of the group.
Yeah,
What
put
if you
it in
put it
there.
there?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. See, I be
put it
needing help.
put it there, and then just tell people, you know, hey, if you need to know how the difference between a rhinestone template, a transfer, and a boom, go to the file section. There's a file in there that tells you exactly, you know, defines all of that for you.
I
You
be
know.
needing help. I can't think of it all by myself. I'm trying to tell you.
we gonna get there. We're gonna get there one day at a time. One day at a time. You're doing amazing. I mean, look, I mean, like I said, you're doing amazing. Like I said, just you're gonna get them trolls that's gonna come up in there, you know, because
Yeah,
they ain't got nothing else better to do. You know, you're gonna get them ones that's gonna come in there and they're gonna try and, you know, circumvent the group or try to, you know, do something in the group that the group was not intended for, you
right.
know, because that's just what people do. But, you know, like I said, you know, you've got good people out there. You know, your moderator, Andrea, like I said, she's doing an awesome job. She's building you up, you know. So like I said, there's nowhere else to go but
Nowhere
up,
else to go but up.
you know.
Right.
Hey, I appreciate you ladies for joining me today. Until the next one. Every Saturday, I'm here every Saturday. I'm dedicating it's like 5 or 6 hours every Saturday to this. There may be more, but right now I have the intermediate class and the beginners class. But remember, at any given time, you can always hit me up for a specific one-on-one to where I got 20 questions. I'm writing them down for Ray, like, you know what I mean? And our next 101 is geared towards the entire time answering those questions and making sure that you are totally satisfied with opening. I want people to be able to be like me, open it up, have that thought or that vision, and being able to successfully complete it, you know, and that's the goal.
All right, well, I'll keep you posted on my progress. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna actually try to go into the software, find some simplified, you know, graphic of some sort, use the software and try to turn it into a template. And then if I'm successful, I will post it in the group and I will tell them, say, hey, even a newbie like me taking Ray's newbie class, like I said, you're gonna talk a lot, but you're gonna learn a lot. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Don't say and, say when.
Right.
Win. Okay, win.
When.
All right.
Not and, because the and is not even a question because you're determined to get to the win.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. You're
Don't
right.
say don't say and if I and when I do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I finish this race, what you mean? If you finish the
Right. No ifs, no tries.
yeah,
If
your
and
goal
try.
is to complete the race. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of those coaches. Those words are not going, you can't even whisper those words around me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, girl, if I win the race, that's how you thinking. If you win, you want to win. When
Right.
I win the race, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to laugh at y'all and say, ha ha, I won. Like, you know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. Okay.
And
All
if
right.
I don't win, I'm racing again till I do. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. All right. Well, like I said, I feel better. You know, I think that's the part that I was missing. That those 3 steps that you said you needed to do, because I just like, how did he get the line to go away, and how did I
Yeah,
just couldn't figure it out. And all of those icons on the TRW's panel, they don't make any sense, right? They're
they
not
don't.
really
They don't.
like intuitive.
Yeah,
So looking at them was like looking at a bunch of hieroglyphics, and I was just like, I ain't got time for this, you know.
yeah.
But I think now I can try it and see what I come up with. Like I say, I might not go to bed tonight.
Hey,
I might be an all nighter.
listen,
Right.
if you ask me, they are the same icons
Mhm.
as in Silhouette, but they named something different. Like, you know what I mean? Because in all of the software programs, they always got that A in the box for the text. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like, our selection tool always looks like a
And it's
little
like a
pointing
triangle.
arrow or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so If you real quick, I want to show y'all real quick. Then I got to go. But this is one thing that you may not realize. When you're in Corel and you hover over something, it pops up and lets you know what it is. You hover over everything, it pops up and lets you know. Even if you hold this one down, Bezier, it pops up. And Design Wizard, if you hover over something, you want to click on the Design Wizard, make sure you're on it, click, does the same thing. You hover over it and just wait a couple seconds, it'll let you know exactly what it's about to do. But also, down here at the bottom, if you hover over something, it comes up right there too, enhanced view. So even if, like, say I was over here on Corel and I hover over here, as you see, it's not popping up anymore. What? I'm hovering over and nothing is popping up. It's not even showing me anything like it just was doing, right? Like, it's not even telling me what it's doing. Like, what? You have to click on it. Boom. And now you're clicked on the Design Wizard. And now.
But you know what? When you were doing that, it wasn't showing up on the screen, but it was showing up down there at the bottom underneath there. Yeah.
It's always going to show up down there. I just wanted to point out that sometimes when you're clicked over here, you know when you clicked on CorelDraw because this little in the top left is going to be green. When you're not on CorelDraw, it's going to be grayed out. So that's how you can, like, sometimes you may be over here, as you see it popped up again, but say I go over here and I'm working on something, and then you jump back over to the Design Wizard because you're like, oh, I was about to, and you asking yourself in your mind, well, why isn't it popping up? You're right, it does pop up at the bottom, but then you want to make sure that you actively clicked on the wizard, boom, and now you'll get your pop-ups again. Every little thing, as it comes to me, I try to relay it to my students because I want y'all to be as advanced as I am. So when it comes to me, I have to get it out and be like, okay, real quick, I want y'all to know this because it can frustrate you. And if you get frustrated, you might give up. Like, you know what I mean? You get frustrated, I ain't using that software no more. No, we'll side out, take a deep breath, and revisit it again. Like, you know what I mean? Until we meet again, ladies.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate your time and appreciate all that you've done for me tonight.
All right now, Andrea.
We appreciate the value, man.
Yeah, we see you in the group. Post.
For sure. Give it about an hour and a half, and I'll send y'all links to the recording.
Okay.
All right now.
All right. Have a good one. Good night, Andrea.
Good night.